Imagine being so terrifying that people are begging for their lives before you even lift a finger.
Our protagonist, Yujiri, is standing there with the ultimate I do not care energy while these prisoners cry about how cruel he is. Jiri is not here to play therapist.
He drops the coldest truth bomb ever, telling them that because of their trash behavior, a woman was pushed to the edge and ended her own life.
Talk about a reality check. The prisoners are trying to act like victims, but Jiri is not buying the act.
He leans in close just to remind them that they brought this nightmare on themselves.
He is officially the CEO of No Mercy. They try to scream that they did nothing wrong, but Jiri is already walking away. He is done listening to the excuses of clowns. When he says it is over, it is over. This depressing scene is actually the grand finale of his 6th regression. Despite being a total beast, Jiri failed to stop the world from turning into a literal dumpster fire again. Giant dragons are casually snacking on cities in the background while the world burns.
It is the ultimate game over screen, and Jiri is just standing there soaking in the failure.
Jiri is lost in thought, wondering if listening to that mysterious woman would have actually changed the ending.
Spoiler alert, he is pretty sure he is the only one who can carry this burden. He is facing down a massive red dragon that is literally breathing fire in his face, but our boy does not even blink. He is too tired for this dragon's main character energy.
He whips out the Formless Sword, an SS rank skill that basically turns him into a walking cheat code.
He has realized that after 6 lives of pure hell, failure is his only real teacher.
Every loss and every scar has turned him into the ultimate weapon. He is diving headfirst into the chaos, looking like a total menace while the world collapses around him. The combat is absolutely insane. He is slicing through everything with blue energy trails, proving that even if the world is ending, he is going down as the strongest person on the planet.
It is a dragon mosh pit out here. Red, blue, and green dragons are everywhere, but Jiri is just one-shotting them like he is playing a tutorial level.
He is literally shredding these flying lizards.
Blood is spraying everywhere as he uses his energy blade to remind them why humans are the scariest things in the universe.
Even with dragons coming at him from every angle, his movements are flawless.
He is a literal whirlwind of death, and these monsters are just cannon fodder at this point.
After the massacre, Jiri stands alone in the ruins of a burning city.
He is exhausted, covered in soot, and probably wondering why he keeps signing up for this apocalypse gig.
He realizes that no matter how many he kills, there is no end to them.
The system officially declares Earth a failure and triggers the apocalypse status.
It is a total wipeout. But wait, he has a literal get-out-of-jail-free card.
The Grand Clock, an EX rank authority, starts ticking backward.
We are going back in time, baby.
Jiri is caught in the golden light of the reset, looking completely unbothered.
He is already planning his 7th attempt at saving this mess of a planet. The world rewinds, and the dragons disappear into the light.
The system announces that the time of the world will begin again.
7th time is the charm, right? Suddenly, we are back in the 21st century. Random civilians are staring at creepy purple portals in the sky like they are watching a movie. Clearly, they have never read a manhwa before. One absolute legend decides to take a selfie with the monsters coming out of the gate. He is giving a thumbs up while a 3-eyed demon is literally inches from his head. Natural selection at its finest. Things go south fast. The phone drops, and the screaming starts. Monsters are pouring out of the gates globally, and humanity is officially on the menu. It is pure chaos. Knights in armor and flying beasts are invading the modern world. It looks like the end, but humanity finds a spark of hope. Enter the new Genesis era. Humanity starts fighting back with superpowers, and young hunters are being raised in an artificial floating island called Heitling. This place is the World Academy City, also known as Lair. It is basically the Ivy League for people who want to punch monsters in the face. Jiri appears behind the guy so fast, it is like he teleported. The criminal is sweating bullets because he did not even sense Jiri coming. That is what happens when you mess with a regressor. The guy tries to attack, but Jiri is just moving in slow motion for him. He dodges the criminal's arm blade like it is a fly and prepares to end this man's whole career. Jiri casually informs the guy that he is a police officer. Then, he proceeds to deliver a heavy dose of justice straight to the criminal's face. The impact is so hard it literally creates a shockwave.
Jiri slammed him into the ground so deep that the pavement is crying.
This is what we call excessive force, and we love it.
Jiri realizes he almost forgot to hold back his I can kill God strength. He stands over the unconscious criminal looking like a total snack, while everyone else is just in shock. It turns out GD is working as a cop at the Lair Metropolitan Police Station. His coworkers are staring at him like he just grew a second head because he actually did his job for once.
His female coworker is literally blushing because GD suddenly looks taller and way more handsome.
That regression glow-up is hitting different this time around. His boss is complaining about him using too much force, but GD is just staring at everyone like they are NPCs.
He has never bothered to show up for work in his previous lives, so these faces are all new.
He drags the criminal away like a sack of trash, telling his coworkers to go back to their own business.
He has got a much bigger mission than filling out paperwork. Here is the real tea. The reason he is regressing is because of baby dragons. These hatchlings come to Earth from a world called Escalifa just to have a good time and collect happy memories.
But Earth is a toxic wasteland of human malice.
These poor baby dragons end up losing their minds or getting bullied by the war-torn reality of our world.
When these hatchlings suffer or end their own lives, their dragon parents go into a full-blown rage mode.
That is what triggers the apocalypse every single time. Humanity's bad vibes are literally ending the world. GD is already at max level and cannot get any stronger.
He realized that punching dragons does not work if they keep coming back, so he needs a new strategy for life number 7.
His coworker tries to invite him to a new restaurant, acting all cute and hopeful.
GD, being the ultimate ice king, shuts her down immediately.
He does not have time for dinner dates when the world is at stake.
She asks where he is going, and he just says Europe.
He is done with the Academy City for now and is heading out to find the key to his new plan. We jump to Florence, Italy. It looks like a peaceful paradise compared to the monster-infested ruins we saw earlier. People are just jogging and living their best lives. GD finds a green-haired girl playing with some kids in a park.
She is making flower crowns and looking like a literal angel.
This is the one he has been looking for.
He approaches her with that signature cold stare. She looks up, completely unaware that the strongest man in existence is standing right in front of her. The wind blows, flower petals fall, and it looks like a romance scene, but we know GD is only here for business.
The girl is stunned by his sudden appearance.
He looks her dead in the eye and tells her that she needs to come with him.
No, please, no, thank you. Just straight to the point.
The 7th regression has officially begun, and things are about to get wild.
Imagine meeting a girl in a park who has a built-in Google Translate for the entire universe.
GD just bumped into a member of the Green Dragon clan, and she is rocking the collapsed Babel skill, meaning no language is too foreign for this mythical hottie.
GD is standing there looking like a brooding main character while she plays it cool, asking why he is even looking for her. She is perceptive, but even she cannot guess what this guy is really planning.
She tries to be a little comedian, pointing out that his name is literally written on his chest.
It is you, GD, in case anyone missed the obvious. She admits she has zero clue what he actually does, but she can smell the main character energy from a mile away.
This girl is no fool.
She realizes GD is ridiculously strong and totally out of place in this boring, mundane world.
She straight up asks if he is there to kill her, or maybe throw her in a van for a quick kidnapping. GD shuts down the kidnapping theories, though he does not exactly give off warm and fuzzy vibes.
He tells her he is here to protect her, but adds a spicy threat that he will get rough if she does not cooperate.
Talk about a toxic bodyguard.
He knows the Green Dragon clan can see Providence, meaning she is smart enough to realize that resisting him is a one-way ticket to a bad time. She decides to play along, but only if he promises to treat her like a guest and not some prisoner. She is basically negotiating her survival with a smile, forcing GD to agree to be kind.
It is hilarious watching a world-ending threat make a pinky promise with a girl who just wants a bit of hospitality. Fast forward to the morning, and we see our dragon girl waking up in a modern apartment.
She is looking for GD, but instead of the usual brooding guy, she finds something much more interesting in the living room.
GD is just casually using an SS rank authority called Shadow of the Grand Duke.
He summons a clone that looks exactly like him, but with half the power. Why?
Because even heroes hate the morning commute and he needs someone to go to work for him.
The girl is beyond confused seeing two GDs, but he explains it is just a skill.
The clone is off to the police station to play office worker, while the real GD stays home to babysit his new dragon friend. Breakfast time is on the menu. Our girl explains that dragons do not eat because they are hungry. They do it for the vibes and the energy boost. Eating tasty food is basically a dragon's soul-cleansing ritual.
She realizes Jidi's kitchen is a literal wasteland with no food or tools, so she drags him out for a massive grocery run.
They hit up S-Mart, and suddenly everyone is staring because they look like a celebrity power couple. While the bystanders are busy simping, Jidi is just trying to survive the shopping trip.
She buys enough ingredients to feed an army because she plans on turning his kitchen into a 5-star restaurant. Jidi tells her to leave the groceries and follow him because they have some shady business to attend to. She is still hyped from the shopping, but Jidi is focused on getting her the essentials for a life on Earth.
They visit a local professional who looks like he has seen way too many back alleys. Jidi drops a casual death threat to make sure this guy crafts the perfect legal documents for his dragon companion.
And just like that, she is no longer a nameless dragon. She gets a resident registration card under the name UBOM. She is officially Jidi's little sister in the eyes of the law, and she is obsessed with her new ID. Jidi explains that her name means spring, part of his master plan to name the 4 dragons after the 4 seasons.
It is actually a pretty wholesome moment for a guy who usually looks like he wants to punch the sun. BOM admits that her dragon instincts are screaming that Jidi is a dangerous monster, but she chooses to ignore them.
She looks him in the eye and tells him she thinks he is actually a good person.
The delusion is real.
She claims her intuition is top tier because of her clan, but Jidi is just stunned. In all his previous regressions, he has never seen a member of the Green Dragon clan smile like this.
The timeline is officially broken.
As the sun sets, BOM is all smiles, promising to cook him a legendary dinner. Jidi watches her and thinks that maybe, just maybe, this start is not as bad as the previous failures. We suddenly warp to a wasteland in Africa where the vibes are definitely not wholesome.
Some bald guy is getting his face rearranged by a red-haired girl who clearly chose violence for breakfast. This red-haired psycho is a total battle junkie.
She just secured her 199th consecutive win, and she is literally stepping on her opponents like they are trash.
She is bored and looking for a real challenge. She pulls off her mask to reveal a face that says she is ready to burn the world down. She is hungry for her next victim, and something tells me Jidi's quiet life with BOM is about to get very loud, very fast.
South Africa is officially a dumpster fire, and the news is having a field day with a terrorist group named Barkada turning the place into a battlefield.
But wait, there is a mysterious teenage girl known as the Night Hunter wrecking these clowns on her own, and honestly, she is the only one with any actual drip in this war zone.
Back at home, our boy Jidi is watching the chaos and decides it is finally time to stop being a shut-in and make a move.
Of course, his dramatic moment is immediately ruined by BOM, who announces dinner is ready like she is not about to serve him a plate of pure nightmares.
Jidi walks into the kitchen and stares at the bowl like it just insulted his entire lineage.
BOM is standing there looking all proud, completely oblivious to the fact that her cooking looks like it was summoned from the deepest pits of a dark fantasy dungeon. Apparently, she went to the UK once and thought it was a great idea to stick sardines into rice like some cursed fusion of sushi and a crime scene.
Even the fish in the bowl looks like it is begging for a second death just to escape the taste of her culinary ambition.
Jidi realizes his soul is about to leave his body if he takes a bite, so he tries to change the subject by mentioning they are going to find the red dragon tomorrow.
BOM immediately kills the mood, warning him that Red is a completely different breed and won't be as easy to bring home as she was. BOM drops some serious lore, telling Jidi that if he tries to use force on a red dragon, he is going to fail miserably.
For them, being forced into submission is a fate worse than death, so he better bring a better plan than just flexing his muscles. Jidi reveals the stakes are higher than BOM's cooking standards because someone is actively hunting Red down. If they do not step in and play hero right now, the local battle maniac is going to end up as a trophy for some mysterious knight who looks like he walked out of a Dark Souls boss room. She agrees to help, but because she is a low-key sadist, she has one condition. She flashes him a smile that says, "I own you now," and tells him he has to finish every single bite of that sardine disaster before they leave.
Jidi looks at the purple glowing rice and realizes he just signed a contract with the devil.
He tries to put down his spoon like a coward, but BOM catches him immediately, proving that even a dragon can be a terrifying helicopter parent when it comes to dinner time. Our legendary warrior is officially defeated by a bowl of fish.
He sits there questioning every life choice that led him to this table while Biom watches him suffer with the purest, most terrifying smile you have ever seen.
Cut to Africa, where the Red Dragon Girl is busy turning terrorists into landscape decorations. She is basically a one-woman natural disaster, standing over a mountain of bodies and complaining that these guys are way too weak to give her a decent workout. She just secured her 199th victory and she is bored out of her mind. Honestly, the level of disrespect is insane as she walks through the ruins, looking for anyone brave or stupid enough to actually challenge her. The elite SAN forces are hiding behind walls like they are playing a horror game, calling her a battle-crazed monster.
Their boss is desperately hoping for backup to arrive, but before he can even finish his sentence, Red pops up behind them like a jump scare from a nightmare.
She asks them what they are whispering about and the poor guys almost jump out of their skin. They try to react, but she is already swinging, telling them it is far too late to start playing soldier now that the real monster is in the room.
One of them tries to blast her with a manhua attack, but Red just slashes through it like she is cutting a birthday cake. The sheer difference in power is staggering, and the soldiers realize they are not fighting a girl, they are fighting an act of God.
She is absolutely relentless, tearing through their defenses with a grin that would make a shark nervous. Every time they think they have an opening, she just proves that their best efforts are basically nothing more than a minor annoyance to her.
The soldiers are losing their minds as she effortlessly negates their attacks.
They finally realize why she is called the Night Hunter, but understanding their doom doesn't make it any less terrifying as she prepares to finish them off.
Suddenly, a wild rank 8 superhuman appears.
Meet Javier Karma, the heavy hitter from the African Union who actually looks like he might have a pulse. He tells his men to fall back with the wounded while he prepares to face the pint-sized disaster himself. Red is actually impressed for once, noticing that Javier's energy is no joke.
She finally takes off that skull mask, revealing that she only wore it because people were too busy staring at her face to actually fight her properly.
Imagine being so beautiful it breaks the game's combat mechanics. She laughs off the power gap, basically telling Javier that she would rather die in a glorious blaze of violence than surrender like a coward.
She is the ultimate red flag, but you have to respect the commitment to the grind. Javier realizes he is dealing with a total psycho and tries to get her to stand down, but she is already charging in. Her weapon might be broken, but her spirit is basically a furnace of pure aggression, and she is ready to burn everything down. She is constantly looking for an opening, moving with a feral intensity that catches Javier off guard. She is not just fighting him, she is testing him, trying to see if he is worthy of being her 200th victim.
Then comes the most disrespectful move in history. Red spots an opening and goes for a literal dick punch. But Javier is a professional and has no reaction, probably because his armor is more expensive than the city they are standing in.
Javier is actually disappointed, telling her it is a shame all that talent is being wasted on someone who has never fought anyone stronger than themselves. He is done playing games and decides it is time to show her what a real rank 8 can do.
He pulls out his ultimate move, the Sword of RA, and the entire area starts glowing like a miniature sun.
Red realizes she messed up and tries to brace herself, but the sheer output of mana is unlike anything she has ever felt before. The energy blast is massive, forcing Red to dump every bit of her strength into her arms just to keep from being vaporized. She is finally feeling the heat, and for the first time, she looks like she might actually lose.
Javier is not holding back, pouring everything into the attack to end the threat once and for all.
Red is struggling to hold on, her arms shaking as the ground beneath her starts to turn into a crater from the sheer pressure. She gets blasted back, slamming into the ruins with enough force to level a building. Javier is actually impressed she managed to block it at all, but he knows she is at her limit and prepares to increase his output to finish the job.
Just as Javier is about to deliver the final blow, Red pulls a disappearing act.
He thinks she ran away, but in reality, Bomb has literally teleported onto the battlefield, covering Red's mouth and pulling her into the shadows like a pro kidnapper. Red is fuming, asking BOM why she is interfering in her glorious deathmatch. BOM just gives her a look and tells her that the fun ends if she dies, so she needs to sit down and let the adults handle the situation before she gets herself erased. BOM starts healing Red's injuries with her green mana, ignoring the girl's protests.
She reminds her that her life does not just belong to her anymore, and that they all have a deal to stay on Earth and have some fun, which does not include being killed by a guy with a glowing sword.
Red asks how they are even supposed to get away from a monster like Javier, and BOM just smiles and says she didn't come alone.
She points toward the center of the battlefield where a certain someone is waiting to ruin Javier's entire career.
Red is confused about who Bombsky is, but then she sees GD stepping out of the dust like he is the main character of a completely different genre.
He looks bored, dangerous, and way too calm for someone standing in front of a rank 8 superhuman.
Javier stares at GD, feeling a confusing and terrifying energy coming from him that makes zero sense. He asks GD who the hell he is, probably hoping this guy is just a lost tourist and not the end boss of his life story.
Meanwhile, in another part of the world, a mysterious blonde girl is sniffing the air like a bloodhound. She catches a scent that smells like BOM but isn't quite her, and she looks way too excited about it. She starts wondering who this new person is, her golden eyes glowing with a mix of curiosity and mischief.
It looks like GD's family of troublemaking dragons is about to get even bigger, and honestly, his house is going to need a lot more rice. Imagine being an elite investigator and finding a guy who claims he is just a chaperone for a girl who literally just leveled a city block.
GD is out here giving off major I am just the babysitter vibes while looking like a final boss, and Javier Karma is absolutely not buying the cap.
GD tries to play the diplomat, pointing out that the spicy red dragon hasn't actually caught a murder charge yet, so maybe everyone should just go home and grab a snack.
But Javier is a typical government simp for jurisdiction and decides that playing hero is more important than his own survival.
Local investigator discovers that being an S-rank superhuman doesn't mean you are safe from a reality check.
Javier gets triggered, screams about his authority, and activates the Sword of RA, which is basically a giant glow stick fueled by his own ego.
The screen is basically blinded by Javier's ultimate technique, and he really thinks he is doing something here.
He is putting his whole soul into this attack, hoping to vaporize the man who is clearly out of his league, but spoilers, it is not going to work out for him. In the middle of all that fire and light, GD just decides to turn off Javier's relevance.
He vanishes and pulls the classic nothing personal kid move, reappearing right behind the investigator before the poor guy can even finish his sentence.
Javier realizes he is in deep trouble when his high-ranked senses tell him there is a monster breathing down his neck.
The Sword of RA is still out here looking pretty, but the man holding it is currently shaking in his boots as GD prepares to drop a truth bomb.
GD tells him to listen quietly, and this is where the psychological trauma begins.
He starts describing a future where Javier is a literal vegetable, losing his limbs and his eyes to a monster he wasn't fast enough to stop.
It is cold, it is savage, and it is absolutely terrifying. The mental assault is so intense that Javier is basically experiencing his own death in real time.
GD isn't even touching him yet, but he is already dismantling the man's sanity, promising him a life of darkness and regret if he keeps trying to play the hero.
Physical wounds? Those are easy to heal in this world. But GD is an expert at imprinting primal fear that no doctor can fix.
He decides to wipe Javier's memory of the conversation, but leaves the soul-crushing terror behind as a little souvenir for his arrogance.
The red dragon is watching all of this with her jaw on the floor, realizing that the guy she thought was a weak human is actually a nightmare in human skin. GD turns to her and offers a deal: live in his house, get protection, and have whatever she wants, as long as she obeys the king.
BOM, our resident green dragon, has to step in and play the big sister role because Red is currently having a mental breakdown.
GD officially rebrands her as Euyorium, named after the summer season, which is honestly too cute for a girl who was just trying to burn everything down.
Plot twist of the century.
The GD we just saw bullying an S-rank investigator was actually just a clone this whole time.
The real GD is currently on a jungle safari in the Amazon, proving that he can ruin your life and go on vacation at the same exact time. While his clone is babysitting dragons in the city, the real GD is tracking down the next sister.
He is sitting in the rainforest like it is a local park, while the gold dragon is lurking nearby, wondering why this weird human is talking to himself in his smartwatch.
We get a flashback to the gold dragon's past lives, where she was basically a superstar idol who lived for the applause. She was the center of attention, but as we all know, fame in the dragon world usually ends with a lot of fire and a lot of dead fans. Being loved by many is glamorous until you realize that humans are actually obsessed weirdos.
Goldie chose isolation in the jungle because beasts and bugs are way less creepy than fanboys who follow you home.
She is currently obsessed with human tech, which is basically her only hobby left. GD calls her out for hiding, and she is shocked that he knows she is a dragon. She tries to act tough, but she is basically just a blonde girl in a white dress who is lonely as hell. When he mentions he knows the green dragon, she starts sniffing him like a confused puppy.
Goldie admits that humans are scary, not because they are strong, but because they are persistent and have zero boundaries.
She is tired of the weird looks and the stalkers, which is why she is living in the middle of nowhere like a survivalist.
GD asks the most important question. Does she like bread?
She tries to maintain her dragon dignity, claiming she doesn't need to eat, but GD just snaps his fingers and opens a portal to a literal carb-filled subdimension.
The smell of fresh pastries is the ultimate dragon repellent, or in this case, dragon bait. He pulls out a bag filled with donuts and blueberry egg tarts, and Goldie's "I am a majestic creature" act evaporates faster than a drop of water on a hot stove.
GD tells her to stop being a jungle hermit and come live with her sisters where it is safe and, more importantly, where there is unlimited dessert. She tries to remember what her mom said about following strangers, but her stomach is making the executive decisions now. Welcome back to the concrete jungle where dragons are the new neighbors.
We start with a beautiful view of the city, but don't let the scenery fool you, because things are about to get chaotic. Meet our resident red-haired menace, Urium.
She is chilling on the balcony looking like she is done with life, and honestly, standing there with a cigarette in her mouth is such a mood.
Suddenly, we get a glimpse of some serious trauma.
A hooded figure and a terrifying glare from GD make her realize she is in deep trouble.
Her only internal response?
A very relatable fuck.
While Red is busy having an existential crisis, BOM is watching her from the shadows. She looks innocent, but in these stories, the quiet ones are always the ones you need to watch out for.
Enter the gold dragon, Gol, who is basically a walking stomach.
She is following GD home because he has the good snacks, and she is currently obsessed with the sausage rolls from this world. She takes one bite of a macaron and basically sees God. She claims this crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside magic is way better than anything back in her home world of Escalifa. BOM welcomes them back with that fake nice energy we all love to hate. She immediately starts complimenting Gol on how pretty she has gotten, and you can practically feel the awkwardness in the air.
Gol is a total softie and goes in for the big sister hug.
She is shocked to find out BOM is already living here with GD, probably wondering what kind of harem situation she just walked into.
Red finally decides to join the party, looking absolutely miserable.
GD just gives her the cold shoulder, and you can tell these two are going to be a match made in hell. Gol immediately starts nagging Red about her smoking habit. She is out here giving a health lecture to a literal dragon, telling her that red dragons always do things that are bad for them.
Red has zero patience for this little chicklet.
She grabs Gol by the face and threatens to rip her beak out if she doesn't shut up.
Talk about a warm sisterly welcome, right? The group sits down to talk ages, and it is hilarious.
BOM claims she is 20, Gol says she is 10, and Red is sitting there looking like she is ready to fight anyone who calls her a kid. Red reveals she is actually 16 and reminds everyone that dragons grow way faster than humans. She flexes her cool adult vibes while Gol just tries to look impressive in the background.
GD decides it is time for some official branding.
He reveals that Urium is the name he gave Red, and BOM is already rocking her seasonal name like a pro. Gol realizes the pattern and decides she wants in on the naming scheme. GD confirms her name will be Ugol, representing fall, because apparently they are a seasonal idol group now.
GD points to the blue dragon egg and says its name will be Joel, the winter season.
He warns them that it is a polymorph, and they need to be careful because the birth is coming soon. Now for the fun part, the rules. GD puts his foot down and tells them they have to stay within the fence of his supervision. No sneaking out and no secrets allowed in this house. Red is not a fan of this total surveillance.
She straight up asks GD if he is a commie for wanting to control everything they do.
The look on their faces is priceless as they realize GD isn't joking.
To get them integrated into society, GD decides they need a shopping trip. They need legal IDs and actual supplies if they're going to live as humans without getting arrested immediately. GD hands over his card and tells them to spend as much as they want. Big mistake. Huge.
Gull is practically sparkling with greed, and Red is already thinking about what she can buy.
These girls take unlimited literally. We see a montage of bank transactions that would make a billionaire sweat. They finally hit the credit limit after spending over $41,000. They come home with a literal mountain of boxes.
Gull feels a tiny bit bad about the credit limit, but mostly she is just excited to show off her new wardrobe to Mr. GD.
Gull goes into full fashion show mode.
She is trying on everything from hipster glasses to schoolgirl skirts, looking like she just raided an entire mall in one afternoon. She even bought a matching outfit for GD, which is actually kind of sweet. He gives her a rare compliment, and she is so happy she looks like she might actually explode into glitter. Red didn't just buy clothes, she went for the heavy metal. She reveals a brand new sword to replace her old one. GD actually admits she picked a decent weapon, which is high praise from him. BOM, on the other hand, didn't spend thousands on vanity. She bought a single potted plant.
GD is confused, but BOM seems to find peace in the most random things.
She explains that watching the plant flower will create a memorable experience. The way she looks at that little plant is actually kind of creepy, like she is planning something deep. BOM keeps talking about things lasting forever with a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. She is definitely the final boss of this household, and GD knows he has his hands full.
The girls realize that just eating and drinking isn't enough entertainment for their long lives.
They ask GD if there is a way to get the full human experience while staying under his thumb.
GD has the perfect solution for 3 chaotic dragons. Misery. He pulls out entrance applications for Lair Academy City. That is right, girls, you are going to school. Good luck surviving that. The Dragon Sisters are back from their interviews, and the energy is already chaotic. Gull looks like she is about to have a literal heart attack because the interview took way longer than expected.
Our resident gold dragon is spiraling into a pit of anxiety, convinced that while the others passed, she is going to be the only failure left behind. Honestly, her worst-case scenario imagination is on another level, and the red dragon is already sick of her drama. Enter GD, the man of the house, looking as unbothered as ever. Gull immediately launches herself at him, crying like she just survived a war.
He just pats her head and tells her to chill because there is no way she failed. To stop the waterworks, GD reveals he brought home a mystery gift.
The smell alone has Gull drooling, and she is already guessing it is bread or macarons.
But nope, GD has something even better planned for these hungry lizards. GD decides to go full theater kid and starts acting out a dinner show scene.
He introduces Gull as if she is some world-famous pop star named Baby Yellow.
It is incredibly cringy, but hey, it works to distract the anxious mess.
The host jokes about her living on morning dew, but our girl is ready to feast. The big reveal is finally here, 2 boxes of glorious, steaming fried chicken.
It is a simple human dish, but to these dragons, it is like looking at a mountain of gold.
Even the rebellious Yoriam is struggling to keep her cool. She tries to act like it is just fried bird, but her eyes are practically popping out of her head. The aroma is doing numbers on her pride, and she is seconds away from folding. BOM tries to be the sweet one and invites GD to eat with them, blushing like a total anime trope.
But our MC has zero time for domestic bliss right now because his watch starts buzzing with an important call.
It is the Lair admissions office calling.
They are not just calling to say hi. They have some spicy news about the interviews.
Apparently, there was a slight issue, and by issue, they mean one of the girls was too good. Turns out, UBOM did not just pass, she got a perfect score. The instructors were basically worshipping the ground she walked on. She is so talented it is actually making the human staff feel insecure, which is peak dragon energy. The school was so thirsty for her talent that they offered her the lead role in the entrance ceremony.
The catch?
She straight up said no.
The admissions officer is begging GD to convince her, but he is not about that stage dad life.
GD shut them down instantly.
If BOM does not want to do it, she is not doing it.
End of story.
He hangs up and heads to the balcony, where Yoriam is lurking in the shadows like a moody teenager.
Urium starts roasting the seasonal names GD gave them, calling the whole thing a cringy game of house.
She is tired of the mystery and wants to know why he is so obsessed with sending them to this elite academy. GD keeps it simple, he is sending them there to get what they want.
For Urium, that means a good fight.
She is skeptical, though. She thinks everyone at Lair is just a weak kid, and she is itching for someone on her level. She turns the heat up and challenges GD directly. She wants him to fight her properly to prove he is actually strong enough to keep her under control. The tension is thick enough to cut with a sword, and her red eyes are glowing with bloodlust.
She is flexing her power, looking for any sign of weakness in him.
She knows he is strong, but she wants to see the full extent of the monster hiding behind that tired face. This girl is a total battle junkie, and I am here for it. GD just gives her the cold shoulder and tells her to go inside and eat her chicken.
It is a total power move that leaves her fuming.
She calls him a goddamn bore, but we all know who is really in charge here.
One bite of that crispy chicken and Urium's anger completely evaporates.
She is instantly won over by the flavor, proving that the way to a dragon's heart is definitely through their stomach.
So much for that dramatic fight challenge. Now we get a look at Lair Academy itself. It is a massive, high-tech institution on the Island of Abundance.
This place is basically the Harvard for superhumans, training kids with insane blessings and abilities to become the world's next big heroes.
But do not let the shiny exterior fool you. This place is a hotbed for elitism and hierarchy. It is filled with the spoiled children of CEOs and royal families. If you are not a genius or a noble, you are basically dirt under their expensive boots. Gul and BOM are already rocking their new uniforms, and they look adorable. Gul is convinced GD must be some secret billionaire's kid because of how much money he dropped to get them in. I mean, he does have that mysterious sugar daddy vibe.
The relief of being accepted is hitting them hard. They are just happy to be staying together, but there is one person missing from the fashion show. Urium had to go to the Blue Dragon School for her practical exams, and GD went with her. GD is acting as her chaperone, which is basically a fancy word for babysitter.
Lair requires adults to supervise these immature superhumans so they do not accidentally level a building when they get cranky.
And let us be real, Urium is a walking disaster.
BOM explains that Urium's test involves dueling other cadets.
Gul is hyped to go watch the carnage, but apparently, it is a closed-door event. No fans allowed, which is a total bummer for our little gold dragon.
The other students are already whispering about the new girls, wondering which noble house they belong to.
They are attracting attention just by existing. These dragons are about to turn the social hierarchy of this school upside down. Over at the Blue Dragon Arena, the fighting is already intense.
Cadets are swinging wooden swords and slamming each other into the ground.
It is a brutal display of skill, but compared to what our dragons can do, it is basically a playground scuffle.
Enter head Professor Yuen. He has got long silver hair and that classic, I am too polite to be a good guy energy.
He introduces himself with a smile that definitely does not reach his eyes.
Total red flag, if you ask me.
The crowd is simping for him because he is a rich war hero, but GD just stares him down.
The announcer calls for numbers 124 and 7 to enter the ring.
It is finally time for the main event, and the atmosphere is electric. Urium steps into the cage, looking like she would rather be anywhere else. Her opponent is a blonde girl who looks serious, but Urium is already gripping her sword with a terrifying intensity. She is bored and looking for any reason not to just walk away.
She warns her opponent that this better be interesting, or she is out of here.
The look in her eyes says she is ready to end this in 5 seconds.
These poor human students have no idea the absolute monster they just let into the arena. Our girl Urium is officially over it.
She is out here looking for a good time, and if this duel is anything less than peak entertainment, she is packing her bags and running away from home.
Talk about dramatic. The crowd is already buzzing, and the betting pool is getting spicy.
Most of these simps are putting their money on Sofia Vorkova because she has that prestigious aura, while others are just picking based on who is more their type.
Idiots. But hold up, Sofia is not just some pretty face.
She is a graduate of RIL, and if you know anything about Russian hunters, you know they do not play around.
We are talking about Russia's elite task force that basically carried the Great War on their backs. Their training methods? Closer to literal torture than actual practice. These guys are built different, and covered in scars to prove it.
Back in the arena, Sophia's dad, Mikhailov, is losing his absolute mind with anxiety.
He is screaming like a soccer mom at a middle school game, and Sophia is visibly dying of embarrassment. Honestly, same.
Yoriam smells blood in the water and starts the psychological warfare immediately.
She tells Sophia to just surrender and run back to her daddy, calling her a spoiled little papa's girl.
The disrespect is legendary.
That taunt hit exactly where it hurt. Sophia's face goes full psycho as she warns the redhead to shut her mouth before she ends up in a casket.
This went from a duel to a grudge match real quick. The referee calls numbers 124 and 7 to their positions. Both girls lock eyes, and you can practically feel the killing intent vibrating through the screen.
This is about to be a bloodbath.
The buzzer sounds, and we are live. Sophia is not wasting a single second, lunging forward with speed that would make a cheetah look like a turtle.
She is out for blood.
Sophia manages to close the gap and throw a strike that actually grazes RMC.
She mocks Yoriam's speed, thinking she has the upper hand, but she just made the biggest mistake of her life. Yoriam looks down at her ruined clothes and her soul basically leaves her body. She just bought those.
Sophia did not just attack her, she attacked her fashion sense, and that is a war crime. The vibe shifts instantly. Yoriam decides that the playtime is officially over.
She starts moving so fast the camera can barely keep up, and Sophia's smug little smile starts to fade.
It is an absolute masterclass in overwhelming power.
Yoriam is dodging everything Sophia throws like she is reading the script ahead of time.
Sophia is swinging at ghosts at this point.
Our redhead is literally flying through the air, looking like a literal demon of war.
She is finding every opening and exploiting it with zero mercy.
Sophia's elite training is looking like a joke right now. One massive impact later, and Sophia is sent crashing into the dirt.
The sheer force behind Yoriam's strike is enough to make the entire stadium shake.
Talk about a reality check. Sophia is gasping for air, her body finally realizing that it just got hit by a freight train.
Yoriam is standing over her, looking completely bored. She asks if Sophia really thought she was winning just because Yoriam was playing along. Another brutal exchange in Sophia is basically a ragdoll. Yoriam is calling her an idiot while delivering a beatdown that is honestly hard to watch.
This is not a fight, it is a public execution. The final blow connects with a sickening crunch. Sophia is folded like a lawn chair, and the arena goes dead silent.
The elite hunter from Russia just got absolutely humbled by a girl who is mad about her laundry. Sophia is coughing up blood on the floor, looking like she is about to meet her ancestors.
The referee has seen enough and officially declares the duel over. Our girl Yoriam is the winner, obviously.
Yoriam stands there looking fresh as a daisy, while Sophia is a broken mess. She mocks the idea of these people being called elites, calling the victory way too easy.
The salt in the wound is real.
The spectators are losing their minds.
They are looking at Yoriam like she is a monster because she did not sustain a single scratch.
Meanwhile, Sophia's reputation is going down the drain in real time. The crowd is so fickle.
Now they are whispering that Sophia was always weak and probably only got into RIL because of her looks.
Man, the internet and these crowds are ruthless. Medical staff rush in to help the fallen blonde. The diagnosis?
Both of her arms are fractured. Yoriam basically snapped her like a twig in a matter of seconds. Sophia is trying to act tough, claiming she is fine and not done yet, but her body is literally refusing to move. Her dad tries to comfort her, telling her she did her best, but she is not hearing any of it. Mikhailov tries to give her the loss makes you stronger speech, but Sophia's pride is in a billion pieces. She can still hear the crowd mocking her, calling her a failure and a fraud. Her mind starts to spiral into a dark place.
The humiliation is too much to bear.
As her dad turns away to talk to the nurse, Sophia's eyes go completely blank. She has officially snapped. She starts mumbling to herself, refusing to accept the defeat. She claims she never surrendered and was just pushed back a bit.
The cope is reaching dangerous levels of delusion. Suddenly, Sophia lunges forward with a hidden blade. She is going for a sneak attack on Yoriam's back, fueled by pure, unadulterated salt. This girl is a total red flag. She screams for Yoriam to die, her face twisted in a murderous rage. She is throwing away her honor and her career just for a chance to kill the girl who embarrassed her. Will Yoriam react in time? Or is this the end of the fashionista? Stay tuned.
The crowd is losing its collective mind because they just witnessed a girl get turned into a human mop.
While everyone else is screaming in shock, our main man GD is just sitting there with the most unimpressed face you have ever seen. The fight between Yoriam and Sophia is reaching a peak of pure pettiness. Sophia, who clearly did not get the memo that our girl is built different, decides to pull out a literal knife like a common street thug. Imagine being so bad at fighting that you have to bring a dagger to a school interview.
Yoriam is bleeding, but instead of crying, she has that "I am about to end this girl's whole career" look in her eyes. Sophia thinks she is winning until Yoriam grabs her hair like she is snatching a wig at a clearance sale. The blonde brat realizes she messed up big time when she hears the words "you are dead" whispered in her ear.
It is time for a lesson in catching these hands. Yoriam starts delivering a series of punches so fast and heavy that Sophia's dental insurance is probably crying for help right now.
The spectators are literally begging someone to stop her because this is not a spar anymore, it is a live-action demolition.
Yoriam is just venting all that internal trauma on Sophia's face, and honestly, we kinda get it.
Sophia is down for the count, looking like she went through a blender, but Yoriam is not satisfied. She wants to give the girl a taste of her own medicine by returning that stabbing favor.
Just as things are about to get R-rated, a massive wall of muscle named Mikhailov jumps in to stop the carnage.
He grabs our fiery redhead, but he is lucky he still has his hands attached after touching her.
The mages finally decide to do their jobs and cast an overlap space magic barrier.
It is basically a timeout corner for superhumans, so they stop painting the walls with each other's blood. Magic circles start glowing everywhere as the interview gets paused.
The instructors are scrambling because they realize letting two psychos fight with real weapons might have been a bad idea for the school's PR.
The instructor has the audacity to tell Yoriam she should have just knocked Sophia out with her superior skill. Yoriam hits back with a savage roast, telling him to raise his daughter better next time.
Enter Professor Wyuan, the resident snake who tries to play peacemaker with a fake smile.
He tells everyone to calm down, but you can tell he is just trying to figure out how to manipulate the situation. Wyuan starts dropping some low-key threats, mentioning that Yoriam's violent behavior might reflect poorly on the Yu family.
He is basically trying to bully a teenager into submission by using her family's name against her. The professor keeps pushing, asking if she would be upset if her family got harmed because of her actions.
This guy really thinks he is a mastermind, but he has no idea who is actually backing this girl up.
The atmosphere shifts instantly as GD walks into the room like he owns the place. He tells the professor to stop cornering a child who is already hurt and finally introduces himself as her guardian.
GD's presence is so heavy that the entire room goes quiet.
Even the arrogant instructors can feel that this nobody is actually a monster in a suit, and Yoriam finally looks like she can breathe again. We cut to a fancy tea session where Wyuan is serving high-grade oolong tea while sweating bullets internally.
He is trying to skin GD's background, but the guy is a total ghost in the system.
Wyuan is having a mini-crisis because GD walked through a high-level magic barrier like it was a wet paper towel. He has never heard of House Yu, and that unknown factor is terrifying him.
Mikhailov is sitting there looking all stoic while Sophia is in a hospital bed covered in bandages.
The professor tries to play the "let's all be friends" card to avoid any more paperwork or lawsuits.
The school wants to settle this quietly since they are all going to be seeing each other at the academy anyway.
Wyuan is practically begging them to just shake hands and forget about the attempted murder.
Mikhailov offers a half-baked apology, claiming Sophia is just young and immature. It is the classic "my kid is a good kid" excuse that every entitled parent uses when their brat gets caught being a psycho. GD shuts that down immediately, refusing to accept the apology.
He points out that the parents' words mean nothing when the child was the one trying to commit a crime, and Mikhailov's ego takes a massive hit.
The big guy tries to flex his status in the RIL organization, asking GD if he knows who he is messing with. GD just looks at him like he is a piece of gum on the bottom of his shoe, completely unimpressed.
GD asks the most logical question ever. Why didn't a pro like Mikhailov stop his daughter from charging at someone with a knife? If he is so skilled, he should have seen it coming a mile away.
Our MC goes for the jugular, calling Mikhailov an embarrassment to his profession for using his child's lack of control as an excuse. The big guy is so triggered he looks like he is about to pop a vein.
Mikhailov loses his cool and tries to intimidate GD, but he doesn't realize he is standing in front of a literal god.
GD just stares him down, waiting for the idiot to make a move.
In a blink and you miss it moment, GD reveals he has already stolen Mikhailov's own dagger.
The man didn't even feel it leave his sheath, proving the skill gap between them is wider than the Grand Canyon.
GD mocks him one last time, telling him his sheath is too loose just like his parenting.
He then drops a chilling warning, telling the expert to make sure he avoids dark, empty alleyways in the future.
To drive the point home, GD stabs the dagger into the ground with enough force to shatter the tiles.
It is a clear message. I could have killed you 5 times already, so stay in your lane. He casually walks out of the room, leaving the professor and Mikhailov trembling in their boots. Wai-Yun is left staring at the door, realizing he just invited a shark into his little goldfish pond. Outside, GD finds Yuriam waiting for him.
She is all bandaged up and looking a bit subdued for once. He asks if she is okay, and she tries to play it off like the stab wound was just a scratch.
Yuriam admits that she knows it is hard to kill people like her, but she still has a rare moment of doubt.
She asks GD if he thinks she was in the wrong for going so hard on Sophia. She is actually upset, wondering if she should have been the bigger person instead of trying to turn the girl into a crime scene.
It is the first time we see her actually care about the consequences of her rage.
GD gives her the most best dad advice ever. He tells her she did well.
But then he adds a dark twist, saying that next time, she should just kill her enemies in a place where there are 0 witnesses. Yuriam's face lights up with a devious grin.
She loves the brutal honesty and tells him not to regret saying that later. She is fully back to her chaotic self, and honestly, we are here for it. Our stoic protagonist GD is already tired of his chaotic life, telling his favorite red-headed problem child, Yuriam, to pack her bags because they are moving into the Elite Lair Academy dorms.
While Little Goal is probably imagining a fairy tale, GD is busy dealing with the reality of guarding these dragon girls, but their walk is interrupted by a man who radiates massive, suspicious energy. Enter Professor Wai-Yun, the typical long-haired pretty boy who looks like he spends more on hair products than magic. He claims he wants to talk about Yuriam's future, but GD is already smelling a rat.
Wai-Yun tries to act all generous by offering Yuriam the position of freshman representative, promising she will be the literal face of the school. He is basically offering her a fast track to being an influencer.
The professor starts listing the perks like a desperate salesman, mentioning artifacts, scholarships, and enough media fame to make a Kardashian jealous, but GD is not buying the sales pitch. The moment Wai-Yun mentions being besties with Vice Principal Ma Nam-jun, GD's danger sensors go into overdrive.
He realizes this guy is not just a teacher, he is a walking disaster.
GD's internal monologue confirms our fears as he identifies both Wai-Yun and his buddy as demonic humans. These guys are the ultimate red flags, having traded divine blessings for the edgy power of the void. These dark entities are basically fueled by blind rage and killing intent, making them the worst possible neighbors. They nearly ended the world once, so you know they are bad news. GD starts having flashbacks to his previous regressions, remembering how these demonic creeps took something precious from him. He is literally imagining killing Wai-Yun in 1,000 different ways right now. Despite wanting to turn the professor into a stain on the floor, GD decides to wait. He wants this guy to die only after he has achieved something, making the eventual fall much more satisfying.
GD plays it cool and leaves the choice to Yuriam, reminding everyone that he is just her guardian and not her boss, though we all know who is really in charge here. Wai-Yun tries to use his charm to win her over, asking her to help him draw the future of the school.
It is so cringe that you can almost feel the secondhand embarrassment through the screen.
Yuriam delivers the most legendary rejection ever, simply saying she does not want to.
The professor's face glitches out because he cannot fathom a student turning down his generosity.
When asked why she even bothered showing up for the interview if she did not care, our savage queen admits she was just bored in bed and wanted an excuse to pick some fights.
Wai-Yun is speechless as he realizes he is dealing with a girl who just wants to see the world burn.
He decides to play dirty, pointing toward a mob of reporters waiting to tear her reputation apart.
The professor tries to blackmail her, claiming her entire life at the academy depends on how he frames the recent knife-fighting incident to the media. He really thinks he has the upper hand here.
Urium just hits him with a casual bye-bye and walks away, leaving the professor looking like a total clown.
She is clearly not afraid of a few cameras or a petty teacher.
The reporters swarm her like piranhas, screaming questions about her grudge against Sophia and whether she is using violence to boost her family's failing reputation.
They keep pushing for a statement, recording her every move and hoping for a viral moment.
GD tries to tell them to back off, but Urium has a much more explosive plan in mind.
When asked what her grand goal is at the Blue Dragon School, she decides to give them exactly what they want, a headline that will break the entire internet. She grabs the microphone with a devious smirk and yells out that she is only there for sex.
The absolute silence that follows is deafening as the reporters probably forget how to breathe. We skip the immediate fallout to see the new lair dorms, which are basically a cluster of luxury villas. Being a dragon guardian definitely comes with some top-tier real estate perks.
Little Gull is losing her mind over how huge the place is, while the sisters start scouting the area to see which one of them can claim the most territory in this new mansion.
A civil war almost breaks out as Gull and Urium race to find the best room.
Gull thinks she found the jackpot, but she forgot that her older sister is a professional bully.
The room is incredible, with a massive bed and a TV that probably costs more than a car.
Gull is already planning her life here, but she is about to get a reality check. Urium claims the room for herself because the balcony is perfect for smoking. She pats Gull's head and calls her a good girl while stealing her dreams, which is peak sibling behavior. Later, we see Gull taking her mommy duties seriously, spraying the dragon egg with water. She claims it is prenatal education because blue dragons are basically thirsty lizards. GD watches this weird ritual while Gull explains that water dragons love moisture.
It is cute until you remember that this egg is actually a powerful mythical being and not a houseplant. BOM shows up to ruin the peaceful vibes, revealing that Urium's interview has gone viral.
The comments are a mix of people being offended and others calling her a refreshing icon of chaos. BOM decides to have some fun and tells Gull it is time she learned about the birds and the bees. Her face turns into something out of a horror movie as she prepares to traumatize the poor girl.
Gull starts screaming for GD to save her from the education, but he just stands there like a statue while the house descends into pure madness.
Just another normal day for the dragon family.
Imagine waking up to a beautiful morning only for your degenerate roommate to ruin the vibe immediately.
Gull is on a mission to wake up the resident red flag, Urium, and she is not taking no for an answer. Urium is looking like a literal zombie because she stayed up all night, and honestly, the reason is absolutely scandalous. Gull is rushing up those stairs like her life depends on it because the house is about to get a new member. Urium finally wakes up looking like she just crawled out of a dungeon, complaining about her lack of sleep. She is grumpy, tired, and definitely not in the mood for Gull's high-energy morning routine. When Gull asks what she was doing all night, Urium drops a total bombshell. She spent the entire night watching adult content like a true degenerate.
The look on Gull's face is pure. I did not need to know that.
Gull tries to move past the trauma because there are more pressing matters, but Urium is still being a menace. She threatens Gull's life if this news isn't actually important, but the whole squad is already gathered downstairs.
The tension in the room is palpable as everyone stares at a single spot. Gull drops the big news that Jewel, their blue dragon egg, is finally about to hatch. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, guys. The egg is trembling and cracking, sending shockwaves through the room. But for our MC GD, this isn't just a cute moment. Seeing the birth of a new life triggers a massive wave of PTSD from his previous hellish timelines. Suddenly, we are thrust into a dark, gritty flashback. GD remembers a time when life wasn't so beautiful.
He is back on a bloody battlefield, and a dying mother is desperately reaching out to him with a final, tragic request.
This is peak trauma, guys.
The mother is begging him to save her child, but the reality is cold and cruel.
The newborn isn't breathing, and the environment is a literal war zone. Life ending before it even starts is GD's biggest nightmare.
Back in the present, GD is still reeling from the dark memories, wondering why they are surfacing now. He looks at his family and realizes how different things are this time around.
The sisters are all huddled around the egg, waiting for the miracle. A tiny little claw pokes through, and then a head.
Joel has officially joined the chat, and she is the most adorable thing you have ever seen. GD snaps out of his funk to help the little dragon emerge from her shell safely.
Everyone is losing their minds over how cute Joel is.
She is rubbing her eyes and looking around like, where am I and why are these weirdos staring at me? GD is being surprisingly gentle for a guy who usually dreams of murder.
The sisters are actually impressed by how GD handles the hatchling.
He looks like a seasoned pro, but he just brushes it off like it is common knowledge.
He even offers to let BOM hold her, but he is staying low-key about his skills.
Gul is practically vibrating with excitement.
She finally gets to hold the tiny dragon and describes the experience as healing for her soul.
It is a rare, wholesome moment in this chaotic household, but don't worry, it won't last. Enter Yuriam, the ultimate tsundere.
She is sitting on the couch acting like she doesn't care at all, but we all know she is dying to touch the baby. Gul sees right through her and starts teasing her to give it a try.
Yuriam decides to be a total psycho and actually tosses the baby dragon toward GD. Like, girl, that is a newborn, not a football. Joel is midair looking absolutely terrified while Yuriam just wants to see GD panic. GD doesn't even flinch. He catches Joel effortlessly with one hand, completely ruining Yuriam's plan to see him lose his cool.
He is just built different, and Yuriam is left looking like a total clown for her reckless stunt.
Yuriam admits her only goal since moving in was to see GD panic, but she failed miserably again. Gul is screaming because she thought the baby was a goner.
Honestly, Yuriam is a top-tier menace and we love to hate it. Since Joel is already in his arms, BOM suggests GD should just pet her.
He hesitates for a second but then gives in, and the scene is so precious it could melt a glacier. Even our cold MC can't resist the dragon baby charm.
BOM is the secret mastermind of the group and she immediately pulls out a camera to capture this rare moment. She knows GD being soft is a legendary tier event and she is not letting it go to waste.
Photo time, everyone.
BOM takes it a step further and puts a red rose on GD's head and a blue one on Joel.
It is peak cringe, but also peak wholesome. GD looks like he wants to die of embarrassment, but he is too tired to fight back.
Yuriam is complaining that the whole setup is cringy, but she still joins the group for the photo.
Deep down, these dragons are becoming a real family, even if they show it by throwing babies and watching adult videos. Look at that family photo.
Joel is even getting her first bottle, looking like the pampered princess she is.
But the celebration has to end because they have a serious problem to solve regarding Joel's future in the human world. BOM explains that Joel can't just walk around as a dragon.
She needs to learn how to polymorph into a human, and she needs to learn it fast.
BOM plans to use a magic transfer to speed up the process before the semester starts. This isn't some cheap trick, though. Magic transfer is high stakes because it literally eats away at the lifespan of the person doing the teaching.
BOM is willing to give up her own life force just so Joel can enjoy being a kid. Dragons grow up way too fast, and BOM wants Joel to experience all the fun human things while she is still small.
It is a heavy sacrifice, but BOM is determined to be the best big sister ever.
GD is just watching, probably thinking about the cost. GD offers to help if needed, but BOM has a very specific favor in mind.
She is acting all shy and innocent, but you can tell she is cooking something up. She wants GD to stay right by her side during the entire ritual. BOM is definitely playing the weak maiden card here. She tells GD to come closer and not be shy, claiming she might get tired and drop the baby. It is a total manipulation tactic, and GD is 100% seeing right through her. She starts fake sniffling, saying she would die of guilt if Joel hit her head on the table. GD is just staring at her like really, but he eventually gives in because he can't be bothered to argue with her logic. GD sits down on the couch right next to her, and the proximity is definitely making things awkward. BOM is smiling like she just won the lottery. She is a low-key genius when it comes to getting what she wants from our MC. BOM suddenly complains that the couch is hard, which is a total lie since it is full-grain leather. She is just trying to find any excuse to get closer to GD.
The tension is rising, and even the baby dragon is confused by the vibes.
Finally, the games end and the real work begins.
BOM starts the mana flow, and the room is filled with a bright, magical glow.
The intense process of teaching Joel her first human spell is underway, and things are about to get magical. A few days after that insane mana transference ceremony, and our girl BOM looks like she has been through a blender. She is literally leaking mana and can barely stand, while GD just stands there like the cold-blooded MC he is, telling her she did a good job. BOM tries to wobble her way to her room, reminding him to feed and burp the newborn Jul, but her legs give out. Before she can eat the floor, GD swoops in for a princess carry. Look at her face, she is turning redder than a tomato. She tries to play it cool with a joke about being heavy, but GD drops a rare sweet line, telling her she is light. It is a total critical hit on her heart. He tucks her into bed and leaves her to recover from the mana drain.
Suddenly, the scene shifts and we see mana swirling around. Is GD in two places at once? We see a figure that looks exactly like him, but something feels off.
This is where the plot thickens and the logic starts to break.
The mysterious figure stares into the void. This is not just some random twin trope. It is something way more high level. The energy coming off this guy is pure final boss vibes, yet he is just chilling in a casual outfit. The team leader is flashing a corporate card like a total baller, offering a celebratory dinner, but our GD shuts it down immediately. He is leaving early, and the co-workers are already smelling a scandal, teasing him about a secret girlfriend. He walks away while they scream about trust issues in the background.
But here is the kicker. The guy at the police station is actually a shadow clone.
The shadow of the Grand Duke is currently pulling a double shift for the real GD.
This skill is no joke.
It belonged to the Grand Duke of the Demon World, a literal monster who used it to rule entire kingdoms from a distance.
GD just casually killed him, took the skill, and now uses it to avoid office small talk.
Absolute legend. The clone meets up with the real GD at a park. GD is sitting on a bench, looking like a tired stay-at-home dad. The clone bows and calls him my lord, which is a bit much for a public park, but we will roll with it. Check out Jul. The baby dragon has polymorphed into a human child and even got a fresh haircut.
She is sitting there looking precious, making everyone in the park think they are looking at the world's most perfect father-daughter duo.
The clone offers to hold the baby, but Jul gives it a look that could kill.
GD explains that she can walk on her own and does not need to be coddled.
This kid is barely a few days old and already has more attitude than most adults. The clone is confused as to why GD brought a baby to a secret meeting. GD is just exhausted, explaining that BOM is stuck in bed. Urium is a violent red flag who refused to babysit, and Gul is, well, Gul. He had no choice. Now the clone starts having an existential crisis.
It has all of GD's memories and emotions, and it is starting to question its mission.
It was built for assassination and war, not for filling out police paperwork and dealing with annoying co-workers. We get a glimpse into the clone's past lives. Every other master used its power to slaughter enemies or expand their influence. But GD? He just wants to live a normal life and take care of a bunch of dragon girls. The clone literally cannot compute this. GD tells the clone to relax.
There is a big mission coming soon, but for now, it needs to keep playing the role of a human cop.
He even tells it to go grab drinks with the team because soon, they will all be gone anyway.
That is some dark foreshadowing right there.
As they walk, Joel spots a human kid getting a giant panda teddy bear from their mom.
She stares at it with those big, sparkling eyes.
Even a baby dragon can't resist the allure of a fluffy toy.
GD notices her longing gaze and decides to step up.
Instead of going to a toy store like a normal person, GD reaches into the shallowest part of the void. He literally rips a hole in space-time just to pull out a rare blue teddy bear. Talk about over-engineering a gift. Joel is stunned.
She takes the blue bear and stares at it like it is the most sacred relic in existence. GD asks if she likes it, but she is too overwhelmed to answer.
This is peak wholesome content before the inevitable tragedy hits.
Suddenly, Joel reaches up and presses her forehead against GD's hand.
It is a deep, instinctual gesture of affection.
GD realizes that because of the ceremony, she thinks mana transference and physical contact are the only ways to show love. We see flashes of the ritual and the heavy price paid.
BOM is still drained, but the bond created is unbreakable.
GD looks at the baby and realizes he is no longer just a warrior. He is a guardian to a creature that does not understand the world yet.
The scene shifts to epic, fiery visuals of dragons and war. This is the world GD came from, a place of cogs and destiny. The contrast between this violent past and the quiet park is jarring, showing just how much GD is trying to change.
The chapter closes with GD holding Jul as she clutches her void bear.
He gives a small, rare smirk. He is playing a dangerous game, trying to live a normal life with these dragons. But for a moment, the world is actually peaceful. GD is back from the shopping district, and he brought a weapon of mass destruction. A human form Jul who is so adorable it should literally be illegal. Our boy is just trying to live a quiet life, but the sunset vibes are interrupted by Gul, who is basically a walking radar for hatchling emotions.
Gul immediately tackles the little one, sensing that Jul is on cloud 9 because her guardian finally bought her a gift that was not a training manual. GD is low-key shook that Gul can read the kid's mind like an open book, but she explains it is just a dragon thing called skinship.
Apparently, dragons can relay every single spicy thought and deep feeling just by touching skin, especially when they do the whole forehead-to-forehead telepathy move.
GD admits he did not know about this biological cheat code, which gets a giggle out of Gul because she thought he was some kind of omniscient god. She reveals her new purchase, an acoustic guitar, claiming she wants to express her soul through music instead of having to touch people all the time. But the moment GD looks at that instrument, he gets a horrific flash of a dark future where a bloody Gul is surrounded by needles and empty bottles.
It is a total red flag moment that reminds us GD is not just a babysitter. He is a man carrying the weight of multiple failed timelines on his back.
Back in reality, he notices her fingers are already trashed from practice and tells her to chill out before she accidentally turns her hobby into a chore.
Gul is a total overachiever who wants to give it her all, but GD shifts the topic to BOM, who is currently out for the count with a nasty fever. Poor BOM is basically suffering from a mana hangover after overworking herself to help Jul learn how to look like a human child.
The domestic bliss is cut short when GD eyes turn cold, sensing an ominous presence that definitely did not get an invite to the housewarming party.
He drops the dad act and orders Gul to take the little one to her room and lock the door, his voice sounding like a threat from a final boss. Gul knows better than to argue when GD gets that look in his eyes, so she grabs Jul and makes a break for it while the atmosphere turns heavy.
Suddenly, some high-tier armored cosplayers known as Guardians show up, acting like they are the main characters of a dark fantasy epic. These guys are essentially elite knight slaves for dragons, and they are already accusing GD of doing something unspeakable to the green dragon.
They reveal they have already put BOM under sleep magic, treating her like a victim of human subjugation because they clearly do not know who they are dealing with.
In dragon culture, these guardians are just glorified bodyguards for hatchlings, but they have developed a massive ego since they left their lairs.
GD tells them to introduce themselves before they start barking orders in his living room, but the lead Tinkin claims only the strong get to ask questions.
The intruder calls GD a lowly human, completely ignoring the fact that the man just identified their high-level barrier magic like it was a cheap parlor trick.
GD is bored of the drama and explains that BOM is just on bed rest because she worked too hard, but these guys are not interested in logic.
The Guardians are visibly shaken when GD mentions they were supposed to be scattered in a distant dimension, information no mere mortal should ever possess. They identify themselves as the keepers of the history of causality, which is a very long way of saying they are interdimensional hall monitors with bad attitudes. Since they have the moral compass of a brick, they decide that executing GD right now is the only way to save the timeline from his inevitable chaos. They launch a full-scale assault on a man who has died and killed more times than they can count, and honestly, I almost feel bad for what is about to happen to them.
You really thought a generic sort of stallion was going to do something against our boy GD?
This knight is out here screaming his lungs out like a main character, only for GD to block his ultimate move with zero effort. It is honestly embarrassing to watch.
This formless sword user thought he was the peak of the food chain, but GD decides it is nap time.
One single strike and this supposed elite is eating the floor.
Local human humbles a bunch of tin cans, and we are absolutely here for the disrespect.
The rest of the squad is finally starting to use their last 2 brain cells.
They realize this isn't some random mortal they can bully.
They are looking at a transcendent being who probably eats gods for breakfast, and the vibe in the room just went from subjugation to please don't kill us.
GD is just standing there, looking like the final boss he actually is.
He is surrounded by these so-called guardians who are now trembling in their boots. It is time for a little Q&A session, and GD is not in a patient mood. RMC wants to know how these losers are even alive.
A dimensional collapse should have turned them into cosmic dust, yet here they are, trespassing in his house.
He demands to know who gave them a cheat code to survive the wipe. The lead knight starts yapping about something called the twist of dimension. Apparently, their lord tried to open a back door to the nest, but the universe said no and slapped them across the dimensional boundary like unwanted leftovers. We get a glimpse of the absolute chaos that went down. These guys were flung out of their world because the dimensions got warped. Now GD is digging deeper, asking for the juicy details on this twist that messed up his peaceful life.
Here comes the lore drop.
The knight mentions the horizon of providence. This is the source of all the distortion, and it is a concept so wild that even GD looks a bit rattled. When the MC gets worried, you know things are about to get scandalous. GD is doing some mental gymnastics because this horizon thing never appeared in any of his previous regressions. This timeline is officially going off the rails, and our boy is realizing that his guidebook to the future is now basically useless. The knight claims some mysterious will from beyond that horizon guided them straight to the dragon hatchlings.
GD is skeptical, so he decides it is time to use his cheat code eyes to see if this tin can is capping or actually telling the truth.
He activates the scales of balance eye, an authority he basically borrowed from a Grand Duke.
This eye is the ultimate lie detector, discerning truth from falsehood with zero margin for error.
The verdict? This knight isn't lying, which makes the situation even more annoying. GD is internally fuming. He spent countless lives double-checking dimensions to make sure no threats remained, yet this unknown influence is still poking its nose into his business. The knight adds that the guiding will sounded like it was constantly cursing. RMC is gripping his sword so hard you can practically hear the metal screaming. He hates variables he can't control, and this dissatisfied will is a massive red flag.
He looks like he wants to punch the concept of fate itself right in the face.
Suddenly, his grand clock authority starts acting up.
Chains of light erupt everywhere as the skill identifies a twisted flow of time.
It is like GD's own powers are sounding the alarm that the timeline is being tampered with by outside forces. The grand clock is not playing around, designating anything from outside the timeline as a hostile enemy. GD stares at the hourglass of destiny, realizing he is now the official janitor of the world's timeline, and he is about to start cleaning very soon. Since he can't fix the timeline shifts this exact second, GD decides to be merciful. He tells the knights to scram. He is already protecting the dragons, so these budget guardians are officially redundant and need to find a new hobby. Most of the knights are tripping over themselves to leave. They know they just survived a meeting with a literal monster.
They are waving goodbye like they just got out of a horror movie, happy to still have their heads attached to their necks. But wait, there is always one loyal simp in the bunch.
One knight refuses to leave his post, yapping about history and causality. GD is not impressed and decides to give this guy a taste of real pressure by literally stepping on his pride. GD is standing on this guy like he is a discarded rug, asking him one last time if he is going to leave. The knight is struggling to breathe under the weight of GD's aura, but he is still holding onto his loyalty like it's a lifeline.
GD reveals he already deleted the other hostile threats and this was just a final exam. The other knights call their buddy a dull fool who doesn't know how to take his freedom when it is offered.
They basically tell GD he can do whatever he wants with the idiot. RMC sighs and decides that since this guy is so stubborn about being a guardian, he might as well put him to work. He dispels the killing intent, and the knight is left wondering why he is still alive while his friends are basically disowning him. GD asks why he is so obsessed with the green dragon. The knight admits his loyalty hasn't run out yet.
GD points out the obvious. The guy is weak as hell compared to him.
If he wants to stay near the dragons, he needs a new job description. The girls come out to see what the noise is about, only to find GD introducing his newest hire. This elite guardian of history and causality is now wearing a pink apron. Congratulations, you are the new house janitor. From protecting dimensions to scrubbing floors, talk about a career peak.
Imagine being a legendary warrior from another world just to end up doing the dishes in a pink apron. Our big armored guardian is having a total existential crisis over some soap suds, and honestly, I am here for it.
GD is literally the coldest boss in history, telling this powerhouse that his new mission is to be a house janitor.
The guardian is out here trying to protect dragons, but GD basically tells him to shut up and grab a mop.
If you thought your manager was scary, GD just threatened to straight up destroy him if he misses a spot. This is not a career path, It is a survival game, and our armored friend is failing the vibe check.
Enter Lady Bom, the green-haired goddess who immediately turns this hardened warrior into the world's biggest simp. One look at her and he is ready to scrub the floors until they sparkle like her eyes. She actually tells him the apron looks good on him, and you can practically see the steam coming out of his helmet. He is blushing so hard under that metal, it is actually embarrassing.
Simp levels are off the charts.
He gets so hyped to serve Lady Bom that he starts breaking the expensive plates while promising to keep her hands dry.
Bro, you were supposed to clean the house, not demolish the kitchenware.
Meanwhile, we get a massive dose of cuteness as Joel shows off her new outfits.
Biom is basically a professional photographer at this point, capturing every single adorable moment of our tiny blue dragon.
Joel is trying to act cool, but she cannot hide that tiny smile that is literally melting everyone in the room. Even the janitor is forced to admit she looks perfect in everything.
Everyone is a simp for Joel, no exceptions. Gul thinks the janitor has a way with words, but GD is here to kill the mood like a pro.
He notices Gul has been practicing the guitar and gives her a look that says stop wasting time without saying a word.
Gul tries to play it off as a hobby, but GD is a certified fun hater.
Thankfully, Bom steps in to defend our musical dragon before GD can roast her soul into oblivion.
The janitor reports that Yorium is currently a human-shaped disaster zone.
He tried to clean her room, but the red dragon basically told him to get lost before she turned him into scrap metal. She is definitely in a mood. GD decides to investigate and finds Yorium looking like she just crawled out of a dumpster. Her room is filled with empty cans and cigarette butts.
This is not a dragon's lair, it is a frat house basement. Turns out our fierce warrior dragon is addicted to human K-dramas.
She is 7 seasons deep into some trashy show and claims it is garbage while literally refusing to stop watching.
Girl, we have all been there. GD just stares at the screen like, is this what my life has become? Yorium is out here losing sleep over fictional plot holes while her room smells like a literal crime scene. GD tells her to just stop watching if it is so bad, and she actually considers it for a second like he is some kind of genius.
These dragons might be powerful, but their common sense is basically zero. Decision made. GD announces a mandatory deep clean because these dragons are living like absolute savages. He tells them they need to act like humans if they want to stay on Earth, starting with their messy-ass rooms.
Yorium is throwing a total tantrum because GD entered her lair without permission. GD just hits her with the facts. Her lair is a dump and she is a lazy dragon.
The truth hurts, doesn't it?
Yorium tries to argue that having a janitor means she should never have to lift a finger.
She even tries to gross out Gul with some nasty habits, leading to a high-pitched dragon scream that probably broke some windows.
In a total red flag move, Yorium dumps all her chores on the janitor and runs off to the gym.
Meanwhile, Gul escapes to go grocery shopping, leaving the poor armored guy to deal with the biohazard.
Bom is planning a massive feast because the family is growing, but GD looks at her cooking and sees a literal purple poison cloud.
If the cleaning doesn't kill them, Bomb's fine dishes definitely will. The janitor enters Yorium's room and is nearly taken out by the smell. He says it is worse than the energy of the demon world. Imagine being a warrior who faced hell, only to be defeated by a messy girl's bedroom.
He wonders if she is training her poison resistance just by living in this filth.
He starts picking up the trash, but then a mysterious figure appears in the doorway.
It is GD, but something feels off. This, GD, starts lecturing the janitor on the importance of recycling. He is talking about sorting cans and plastic like it is the most important thing in the universe. Who is this civilized version of our cold MC?
The real GD walks in and finds them staring each other down.
He tells the clone to stop being a diva and help with the manual labor. Even GD's own shadows are not safe from the cleaning grind.
While Yorium is getting her gains at the gym and Bom is shopping, the men are back home working like slaves. The house is finally starting to look like a place where humans actually live instead of a disaster zone.
Cleaning is done, but the grind never stops.
GD gives his clone a new mission map.
We are heading to Moscow, Russia, baby.
It is time to deal with some real demonic human trash.
The target is a group called Invisibility that is cooking up some prototype X monstrosity. GD wants the clone to wrap up his police work and go handle this transcendent threat. Plot is finally heating up. BOM returns with enough groceries to feed a small army.
She is all smiles, totally oblivious to the fact that GD is planning an international hit job while she was buying apples.
GD pulls a fast one and tells the clone to swap clothes with him.
The clone realizes he was only summoned to do the heavy lifting and act as a body double.
The level of disrespect is legendary. The day ends with a family dinner of purple soup that looks like it came from a radioactive swamp.
The dragons love it, the janitor is officially part of the squad, and GD is just standing there wondering how his life became a chaotic sitcom. We start in a literal slaughterhouse near the lair, where our boy GD is currently turning some poor fodder into a human puddle.
This trash mob actually thinks he has leverage while coughing up blood, asking GD if he really thinks he can get away with this.
The audacity is off the charts as this demonic human tries to flex.
He tells GD he should be begging on his knees if he knew who was backing him.
GD just stares with those dead eyes, looking like he has heard this script 1,000 times, because he literally has. GD doesn't just know, he starts dropping names like he is reading the credits. He calls out Professor Weiyuan of the Blue Dragon School, or as he is known in the underworld, a demonic simp for the organization called Invisibility. The look of pure terror on the fodder face is worth its weight in gold.
It is time for a little truth serum, and by that, I mean GD activating his scales of balance eyes.
This SS rank authority is basically a cosmic lie detector that makes your soul itch.
He tells the guy to stop the cap and start talking, or things are going to get way more messy. These seats aren't just for show. We are talking about disaster-level powerhouses who can command their own legions. Imagine a walking natural disaster with an army of psychos behind them. That is the kind of smoke Weiyuan is trying to inhale. GD is smelling something fishy, and it is not just the dead bodies.
In every other regression run, Weiyuan was a mid-tier loser who never even got close to a seat.
Suddenly, this guy is a mastermind?
The math is not mathing, and GD knows someone has been messing with the timeline. It turns out Weiyuan is an anomaly fueled by malice from outside the current timeline. He is basically a glitch in the Matrix who has kept the best elements from past lives to interfere with GD's plans. This guy is literally a cheat code character trying to ruin the run.
GD realizes that this outside force can interfere with everything related to him. The informant, thinking he is still part of the conversation, whimpers that this is all he knows.
Honestly, buddy, you should have just stayed home today. Now comes the classic loser move.
The guy starts begging for mercy, claiming he has a sick mother waiting for him.
He even promises to be a double agent. GD just gives him a look that says, I have heard that one in at least 5 different timelines.
GD hits him with the ultimate cold line. Even if you were telling the truth, you would still be dead.
He snaps his fingers and activates his destruction authority, because our MC does not do forgiveness, and he definitely does not do sparing witnesses. While GD is plotting counterterrorism, we see a glimpse of the school life he is trying to protect. He knows if Weiyuan succeeds, the Lair Academy is going to become ground zero for a disaster.
He is the only one who sees the storm coming while everyone else is enjoying the sun.
Enter the cuteness overload.
Random bystanders are losing their minds over how adorable little Jewel is.
Look at her with that blue hair and her stuffed bear. She is pouting because people won't stop staring at her, and honestly, same, Joel, same.
The fan club is growing by the second, but then GD shows up looking like a Grim Reaper in a dress shirt. The girls gushing over Joel get the absolute fright of their lives when they see his scary face.
They probably think he is about to kidnap her, but nope, he is just the guardian.
GD asks if they have business with the kid, and they scatter like roaches when the lights turn on. BOM finally catches up, looking like a literal angel in the middle of this chaos.
She has been looking for him all day while he was out doing his business, which we know involved a lot of blood. BOM and GD sit on a bench, and she is just happy to spend some quiet time together before the school year starts. She is the heart of this group, always trying to find a moment of peace while GD is busy worrying about the end of the world.
Then BOM drops the bomb.
She says they look like a family sitting there, and she jokingly suggests that Joel is the daughter, she is the mother, and GD is the father.
The shipping community just exploded, but GD's reaction is basically a blank stare.
Joel is just vibing in the background, completely unaware that her parents are having a moment. BOM is teasing GD, but you can tell she kind of means it. GD, being the ultimate brick wall, just tells her to stop saying strange things.
BOM bursts out laughing, telling him he doesn't have to look so serious.
She was just kidding. Or was she?
GD just wants to go home because his social battery is at 0% after a long day of murder and domestic roleplay. We get a beautiful sunset shot as the family heads home. But don't get too comfortable, because the next morning is the start of the school semester.
The cherry blossoms are falling, and the students are out in force.
It is the calm before the academic storm. The academy looks high-tech and fancy, but we know it is crawling with future problems. Gul is the most hyped person on the planet right now.
She is finally going to school. Look at that sparkle in her eyes, she is pure cinnamon roll energy. Gul is running through the streets with a piece of toast in her mouth.
Why?
Because she is obsessed with a romantic myth from her homeland, Escalifa.
Apparently, if you bump into someone while eating toast, they are your destined partner. This girl has been watching way too much shoujo anime.
She meets up with Yoriam and starts listing her classes, magic studies, sociology, the whole nerd starter pack. Yoriam is just looking at the toast like, girl, didn't you already eat breakfast at home? Gul just gives her a smug look because Yoriam clearly doesn't understand the toast meta.
Gul explains the whole destined partner thing with a flashback to Escalifa, featuring some very confused-looking lizard folk. It is a classic trope, and Gul is determined to make it happen.
She is manifesting her fated encounter with every bite of that bread. Just as she is dreaming about her cool destined partner, she accidentally slams right into someone. She thinks this is it. Fate has arrived. But instead of a handsome prince, she hears a very familiar ouch, and realizes she just headbutt Yoriam. Yoriam gives her a devious smirk and asks if that makes her the fated partner now. Gul is having a mental breakdown because you are a girl. Yoriam just laughs it off, saying she saw some American dramas where that doesn't matter at all.
The chaos between these sisters is top tier. The conversation shifts to GD, who promised to come for class observation but is currently MIA.
Yoriam wonders if the geezer is secretly seeing a girl, which makes Bum start sweating buckets.
She knows GD's dates usually involve a sword and a lot of screaming. As they approach the school gates, they see a massive swarm of reporters. These vultures are looking for the next big scoop, and unfortunately for our girls, they have a very recognizable face in their group.
The flashes are going off like crazy. The reporters are whispering, and then one of them spots her, Yoriam.
The girl who absolutely folded Sofia Vorkova and then gave the most I don't give a damn interview in history.
She is a viral sensation, and these reporters want a piece of her.
Yoriam's face is all over the news and the internet comments.
People either love her or hate her, but everyone is obsessed. The reporters charge forward like a zombie horde, shoving microphones in her face and asking for an interview.
Gul is terrified, hiding behind Yoriam while the cameras click away.
Yoriam is trying to keep her cool, but you can see the vein popping in her forehead.
She just wanted to have a normal first day of school, but these trash reporters didn't get the memo.
Finally, Yoriam snaps.
She lets out a roar telling everyone to shut up, and the entire plaza goes silent. She tells them that if the last interview wasn't enough for them, she is happy to take them all on, one by one.
We end with the most iconic shot of the chapter. Yoriam smiling like a total psycho while giving the reporters the middle finger.
She tells the trash reporters to come at her.
Class is in session, and the first lesson is don't mess with a dragon. Imagine being a literal war machine, but your biggest nightmare is a tiny blue-haired toddler. Our armored janitor is currently sweating bullets because babysitting duty is officially on the menu, and he is failing the vibe check.
GD is heading out and leaves the house in the hands of a guy who thinks cleaning is a boss battle. The knight realizes that taking care of Jewel is a task way harder than scrubbing floors, and the dread is real.
The silence in this room is so heavy it could crush a monster.
To break the ice, our armored simp tries to act like a normal human and asks Jill if she wants to read a picture book.
Big mistake. He is literally vibrating with awkwardness while Joel just stares into his soul. This is what happens when you spend too much time in a dungeon and zero time at a daycare. Time to pivot to some literature. He pulls out a book titled My Dad is a Fairy. It should be wholesome, right? Wrong. This guy is about to overanalyze a children's story like it is a classified military document from the underworld.
Joel actually looks interested for a second, thinking she is getting a cute story. Little does she know, Her guardian is about to turn this fairy tale into a dark historical documentary about war and suffering.
Instead of a magical forest, this armored scholar claims the setting is a primordial death trap from before the Demon Age. Bro, it is just a drawing of some trees. Why are we talking about ancient apocalypses?
He points at the characters and casually theorizes that the mom is definitely dead because, in that era, having even one parent alive was a literal miracle.
This guy is the ultimate buzzkill at parties. He claims the bedtime stories mentioned in the book are probably just propaganda from the Great War. He even labels the little girl in the story as a war fanatic. Someone please take the book away from him.
The dad in the story goes missing, and instead of saying he went to buy milk, this knight suggests he went to the front lines to capture war concubines.
Look at the carnage in his imagination. He is totally unhinged.
Jill looks like she just witnessed a crime. Her face is a mix of pure horror and "why is this my life?"
Our knight is still yapping, completely oblivious to the fact that he just traumatized a child.
Joel has finally had enough of the historical trauma and points towards the corner.
The knight realizes he ruined the mood so hard that even the toddler wants him to go sit in timeout.
While the knight sulks in the corner like a rejected RPG protagonist, the scene shifts to the academy. We get a glimpse of a mystery blonde, but the real drama is just pulling up in a black sedan.
Enter Gong Joo-hee, the heiress of a top-tier swordsmanship clan who cares more about her foundation shade than her family legacy. She is the textbook definition of a high-maintenance red flag. Joo-hee is out here complaining that sword training makes her sweaty and ruins her makeup. She sees a crowd of reporters and naturally assumes they are all there to worship her.
The ego on this girl is massive.
Her secretary has to drop the truth bomb. The media does not care about her. Joo-hee is fuming as she realizes she is being overshadowed. She pushes through the crowd to see who stole her spotlight. It is Yoriam, and she is casually sitting on a male student like he is a piece of IKEA furniture.
The best part? The guy is a total simp and says it is a reward. Modern society is truly cooked, guys. The reporters are desperate for a scoop, but Yoriam is not playing.
She tells them they get one question each and better make it fast.
She immediately cancels a reporter just because his intro was too long.
Savage.
A French reporter asks her how it feels to be the center of the superhuman world, and she just says it sucks while picking her nose. She even calls her own fan cafe members idiots. She really has zero chill.
Then comes this greasy reporter, Park Gango.
He is looking for a scandal and starts grilling her about her past interviews.
You can practically smell the desperation and sweat coming off this guy through the screen. Yoriam decides to troll him into the shadow realm.
She leans in with a smirk and asks if he wants to have relations with her.
The entire crowd goes silent.
She just nuked this man's career with one sentence.
The reporter tries to play it off as a joke, but he is actually a snake.
He threatens to write a malicious article filled with his own twisted interpretations if she does not behave.
He really chose death today.
Gango thinks he is a genius for provoking her to get views.
He is grinning like a creep, thinking he has the upper hand.
Little does he know, Yoriam is about 5 seconds away from catching a murder charge.
Yoriam loses her patience and prepares to turn this guy into a red stain on the pavement. She lunges forward, but a hand suddenly snatches her out of the air.
The boss has finally entered the chat. GD arrives with impeccable timing, stopping Yoriam from ending the reporter.
Gul is just happy to see him, but Yoriam is still trying to bite the reporter head off.
She is a literal rabid dog at this point.
GD just picks her up like a sack of potatoes and ends the interview right there.
Yoriam is flailing around, screaming to be put down, but GD is not hearing any of it. The interview is officially over. The greasy reporter is left shaking in his boots as GD walks away.
He tells Gul to get to class so she is not late for her first day.
Even when he is threatening the media, he is still a responsible guardian. Gong Joo-hee is left standing there, absolutely stunned by the raw power she just witnessed.
She is already planning to investigate which clan these monsters belong to.
The school year just got a lot more dangerous.
Welcome to the academy, where even the legendary swordsmanship classes start with a lecture so Dryad could turn a dragon into a raisin.
Meet Professor Kai, the guy who thinks talking about history is more important than actually swinging a blade.
And here is our favorite red-headed menace, Yoriam, who is currently 1 second away from choosing violence. She is not here for the mindset of a warrior. she just wants to know the fastest way to turn someone into a kebab. Our girl is literally enduring this boredom only because she has a massive grudge against the hooded armor chunk known as GD. She is manifesting his downfall while sitting in a desk, which is peak relatable behavior for anyone stuck in a math class.
Since the lecture is a total snooze fest, Yoriam decides to test GD's patience by leaning on him.
She thinks she is being a master seductress, asking if he is embarrassed by the physical contact.
Girl, you are trying to flirt with a literal brick wall.
GD just gives her the 1,000-yard stare of a man who has seen the end of the world and finds it less exhausting than this teenager. Yoriam pouts because her charms are hitting a 0% success rate.
It is honestly embarrassing to watch.
She complains that being kidnapped was supposed to be all dopamine and high-stakes drama. Instead, she is stuck in this weird family roleplay where she has to do homework and attend lectures. This is not the villain arc she signed up for.
Yoriam is out here demanding fighting, killing, and the sweet taste of victory.
She is basically a walking red flag with a caffeine addiction, and the professor is finally starting to notice that his star pupil is losing her mind in the back row.
Professor Kai finally snaps.
He sees Yoriam acting like a restless chihuahua and decides that a little manual labor is the perfect cure for her bad attitude. Look at that smug mustache, he knows he is about to ruin her entire day.
The sentence is passed. Detention and floor scrubbing.
Yoriam looks like she wants to incinerate the entire building, but GD is right there to make sure she actually picks up a sponge.
This is the ultimate fall from grace for a dragon. Scrubbing floors is apparently worse than a physical beating for our red dragon.
She is fuming, wondering why she is the one doing the dirty work while GD just watches.
This is the least glamorous training montage in the history of manhwa.
She suggests calling the house janitor, you know, the literal living suit of armor, to do the job. But GD reminds her that the armor guy is busy babysitting the blue dragon, Jewel.
Yoriam is officially out of excuses and out of luck.
She asks the big question, is your life even fun?
And GD, being the absolute ray of sunshine that he is, just says, not really. Imagine being so OP that even living becomes a chore. He is the definition of suffering from success. He explains that he lives simply because life continues, and he cannot give up.
Yoriam calls it an edgy teenager line, and honestly, she is not wrong.
He is reaching levels of brooding protagonist that should not even be possible.
Back at the lair, the mood is still trash.
Yoriam is trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, which is hilarious because she has the patience of a ticking time bomb. The armor guy is just hovering there, being a total creep as usual. The armor guy's clanking is driving her insane. She finally loses it and chucks the cube at his head.
Poor guy is just trying to do his job, but being a guardian in this house is basically a death sentence with extra steps.
Yoriam is spiraling because she hasn't had a good fight lately. She is basically a shark that needs to keep biting things to stay alive. The sisters are watching her like she is a zoo animal having a mental breakdown. Then, she does the unthinkable. She calls the green dragon by her actual name, BOM. BOM looks like she just saw a ghost. Usually, Yoriam only uses names when she is about to commit a felony or if she is dying.
BOM is genuinely worried that Yoriam has a fever, but our red dragon is just having an existential crisis.
She wants to know why anyone bothers living if they are as miserable and boring as GD.
The vibes in the room are officially cooked. BOM leans over to Joel and whispers that Yoriam is finally entering puberty. The reaction is instant.
Yoriam can hear everything, and she is absolutely fuming.
Nothing offends a dragon more than being told they are just a hormonal teen. Yoriam repeats GD's edgy line about life, continuing.
Joel thinks it sounds exactly like something their mister would say.
It is official. GD has successfully infected the children with his nihilism.
We love to see it.
She points out that humans usually live for enjoyment.
Like Gul, who is currently about to ascend to heaven just by eating a piece of cake.
Look at that yellow monkey. She is the only one in this house with a functioning serotonin level. And then there is Joel, who is perfectly happy playing with a ragged teddy bear. Yoriam is the only one overthinking everything, while BOM just sits there looking pretty and mysterious.
Seriously, BOM is the ultimate don't let them know your next move character. Yoriam calls BOM and GD the unreadable duo. They are both super boring and impossible to figure out. It is like living with two statues that occasionally give you chores and life advice you did not ask for. But BOM has a secret.
She tells Yoriam that GD is actually surprisingly shy.
Wait, what?
The bloodless, tearless psychopath who stares down monsters for breakfast is
Shy. BOM, what kind of fanfiction are you writing? Yuriam is disgusted.
She is convinced that GD is a cold-blooded robot and that BOM must be seeing things. But BOM just smiles that creepy, knowing smile that says she knows exactly how to push GD's buttons.
We get a glimpse into Bomb's perspective, seeing GD in a much softer light. Apparently, the big scary guardian has some cute reactions if you know how to tease him. This is definitely a ship that Yuriam wants to sink immediately.
Yoriam accuses them of doing weird stuff behind the sisters' backs and starts tickling BOM to get the truth.
The tension breaks into a chaotic play fight, showing that even these terrifying dragons are basically just a bunch of rowdy siblings. Suddenly, Gul bursts in with massive news.
The entire Lair community forum is blowing up because Yoriam has her very own fan cafe now.
Our violent, floor-scrubbing rebel is officially a local celebrity. Yoriam is caught between being flattered and wanting to delete the internet.
Gul is way too excited about this, while BOM is just enjoying the chaos.
It is all fun and games until the fanboys start showing up at their front door. The next morning, we see GD getting ready. He is currently showing off the kind of abs that should be illegal in a school setting.
Seriously, the man is built like a Greek god but has the social skills of a toaster.
BOM decides that knocking is for losers and peeks into his room while he is half-dressed.
She has zero shame and is clearly enjoying the view. GD just stands there, probably wondering why his life is like a reverse harem anime now. She apologizes with a blush that is about as fake as a $3 bill. GD tells her to just come in already, and we can all feel the tension rising.
Something tells me this is not going to be a normal conversation.
BOM drops the final request. She wants GD to accompany her on an outing today.
She's looking all cute and innocent, but we know the green dragon always has a hidden agenda.
Is this a date or a trap?
Either way, GD is in for a long day.
Look at this green-haired beauty coming in hot with the rare requests.
BOM is finally tired of being the background character in her own life and demands GD accompany her for the day.
She is literally counting the receipts, pointing out how he spends all his time with the other girls while she gets 0 solo missions.
While the red-haired Yoriam is busy enjoying some casual violence and Joel is dreaming of fried chicken, BOM drops the absolute bombshell. When asked why she is skipping school, she boldly announces she is asking GD out on a date. The audacity is off the charts and I am here for it.
Gul decides to jump into the fire, teasing GD for playing favorites like some kind of high-stakes harem master.
She even brings up her own mother who apparently handled 100 men at once but still had her favorites. Talk about a wild family tree, but GD is just standing there looking like he wants to evaporate.
To really twist the knife, BOM starts acting like a tragic abandoned fish.
She claims GD is the type to catch a prize and then let it rot in a cracked bowl without a second thought. The guilt tripping is top tier, and GD is officially trapped in her web.
Even Gul tells him to just go, reminding him that he cannot play babysitter 24/7.
GD finally caves because you cannot fight that kind of pouty energy.
Meanwhile, we transition to the academy where the local NPCs are already gossiping about Bomb like she is some kind of unapproachable goddess. The students are losing their minds over her perfect scores and visuals, but of course, there is always that one hater.
They start mocking the U family name for being tacky, proving that even in a world of superhumans, high schoolers remain the absolute worst.
It is time for social etiquette class, which is basically a fancy way of saying let us force awkward teenagers to touch each other. The professor announces they will be practicing social dancing, because apparently, being a hero requires knowing how to waltz without stepping on toes.
Everyone starts pairing up, but Bomb is left standing alone.
Even though she is the prettiest girl in the room, the boys are literally too terrified to approach her. Her aura is so intense they feel like they will get cursed just by looking at her.
Imagine being so beautiful you are basically a boss monster.
Finding herself partnerless, BOM decides to break the system.
She asks the professor if she can just dance with her chaperone instead.
GD is sitting in the back minding his own business, and suddenly he is the center of attention.
BOM is not asking, she is claiming her prize. GD tries to hit her with the classic "I do not know how to dance" excuse, but BOM is not hearing it. She drags him onto the floor anyway, refusing to be left alone.
The legendary warrior is about to face his greatest challenge yet, basic rhythmic movement. As they start the steps, GD is as stiff as a reinforced concrete pillar.
BOM notices the tension and asks if he is actually embarrassed to be touching her. She tries to play it cool, saying a little hand-holding won't magically link their souls, but GD looks like he is preparing for a boss fight.
The stress is becoming physical.
GD is sweating buckets, and BOM is having the time of her life teasing him.
It is hilarious to see a man who probably kills demons for breakfast getting absolutely folded by a simple dance lesson.
GD is reaching his breaking point.
His hands are so sweaty it is practically a flood, and the internal panic is real.
He is trying so hard to keep it together, but the proximity to bomb is doing more damage than a high-level spell.
Suddenly, the tension hits a critical level, and GD suffers a massive nosebleed. The poor guy is so overwhelmed he is literally leaking. BOM is genuinely concerned, asking if he needs a hospital, but GD is just trying to maintain whatever dignity he has left. He claims dragons do not need hospitals, which is the most metal excuse for a nosebleed I have ever heard.
They take a break, and BOM is actually impressed by his skills.
For a guy who said he could not dance, he was following the rhythm like a pro.
Bomb is suspicious, asking where he learned to move like that. GD insists he never actually learned, but we get a glimpse of his past where he was practicing with someone else.
His muscle memory is basically a cheat code at this point.
Even if he is a beginner, Bomb thinks he is a natural talent.
As the class ends, she is already planning their next move, asking if he is free after school for some more fun. She is determined to turn this into a full-blown date, and GD has no escape.
While things are cute and fluffy at the academy, the vibe shifts instantly as we head to Moscow, Russia. We are at a demonic human research facility called Invisibility, and things are currently being deleted from existence. The alarms are screaming and the hallways are painted red. A shadow clone of GD is currently tearing the place apart like a bored kid with a magnifying glass over an anthill. The demonic humans are fleeing in absolute terror because a literal monster has entered their house.
One researcher thinks she can escape and contact headquarters, but she is dreaming. GD shadow clone corners her in the dark, and his presence alone is enough to make her soul leave her body. He is not there for a chat, he is there for information.
He demands to know the location of a commander-class demonic human known as Prototype X.
The researcher tries to act tough, saying she would rather die, but GD has heard that one before.
He explains that when the pain gets real, all that human-like acting disappears. He describes how people become nothing more than puppets with cut strings once the agony takes over.
In a terrifying callback to his date, the clone asks his victim if she would like to dance under the moonlight too.
From high school waltzes to moonlight massacres, GD really is a man of many talents.
We start with a literal bloodbath because our boy GD doesn't do things halfway.
His shadow clone is standing over a corpse like it is just another Tuesday, reporting in that Prototype X has been shipped off to the Invisibility headquarters. But wait, there is a spicy twist in this regression.
Unlike the last few times GD lived through this nightmare, Prototype X is actually a female now. Talk about the world's most dangerous gender reveal party. GD is not taking any chances with this new variable.
He orders his shadow to body snatch the identity of a researcher named Vera.
It is time for some high-stakes infiltration to figure out who this mystery woman actually is. The ability this monster has is genuinely broken.
It binds thousands of demonic minds into one single consciousness.
The longer this thing breathes, the more powerful and insane it gets. It is a ticking time bomb of pure malice. In every other timeline, GD made it his personal mission to spawn-kill this creature immediately.
But now, with the identity change, finding her is like looking for a needle in a haystack made of demons.
Our protagonist pulls out his literal cheat code, the Grand Clock Authority. His eyes start glowing with that I am the main character energy as he scans the timeline for any deviations or glitches in the Matrix. Then, the vibe shifts from World War III to rom-com real quick. BOM pops out from behind a curtain, looking way too adorable, and drags our grumpy regressor into a store for some summer shopping.
BOM is out here choosing violence, asking GD if a bikini looks good on her. She is teasing him so hard it is actually criminal.
Look at GD's face. He is trying so hard to stay stoic while his soul is leaving his body.
She even hits him with the "Are you having inappropriate thoughts?" line.
This girl is a menace. GD just wants to go home and brood, but BOM is the one person who can actually make this stone-cold killer blush.
Finally, she drops the act and reveals they are actually there to buy presents for the other sisters. Apparently, the legendary warrior and the green dragon are just out here doing some wholesome errands.
BOM is the ultimate big sister.
She noticed Jill's teddy bear is looking like it survived a blender, so she wants to get the little one a replacement.
My heart can't take this level of domestic fluff.
She also plans to buy a high-end wallet for Gul so the poor girl doesn't feel like a total pauper at school.
As for Urium, that red-headed fireball saw something in a movie and wants a very specific gift. BOM splits the party and sends GD to the toy aisle alone. That is a huge mistake. Sending a man who spent his life killing demons to buy a baby doll is like sending a shark to buy a tutu. Enter our villain of the week, the predatory shop clerk.
She sees GD standing there with a teddy bear, looking lost and handsome, and immediately marks him as a high-value target for a retail scam. She uses her scouter eyes to analyze his wallet potential. She assumes he is a rich, clueless uncle and puts on her best fake customer service smile to drain his bank account.
Target secured, indeed.
GD tells her the child is 4 years old. The clerk starts her sales pitch, claiming that simple dolls are for losers and that this kid needs high-end educational playsets for her emotional development.
This woman is a pro.
She starts showing him doctor kits and science sets, basically telling him he is a bad guardian if he doesn't buy the most expensive junk in the store.
And GD is actually falling for it.
She even tries to sell him on the bonding experience.
GD imagines little Joel as a nurse with a giant syringe and decided that yes, this is exactly what a 4-year-old needs. Someone stop this man. The clerk is laughing all the way to the bank as GD buys a literal mountain of boxes. She thinks she hit the jackpot, and honestly, seeing our overpowered MC get bullied by a retail worker is peak comedy. But then, GD pulls out the ultimate flex, a VIP black card. The clerk's jaw hits the floor.
She realized she didn't just find a customer, she found a sugar daddy.
No wonder he bought everything without blinking.
Now the clerk is in full seduction mode, asking if he has a girlfriend while blushing like a crazy person. She is ready to risk it all for that black card lifestyle. Too bad for her, the real boss is arriving. BOM appears out of nowhere and grabs GD's arm, marking her territory like a pro. The clerk's face when she sees a younger, prettier girl is absolutely priceless.
The sister excuse doesn't fool anyone, honey.
BOM is not happy.
She roasts GD for buying a mountain of trash that Joel won't even like.
The clerk tries to defend her commission, but you don't argue with a dragon when she is in shopping mode. BOM shuts down the clerk with a single smile that says, "I will end you if you say one more word." She knows exactly what Joel wants, and it is definitely not a 500-piece medical kit. She picks up a simple, soft teddy bear that looks just like the old one.
It is thoughtful, it is sweet, and it doesn't cost $1 million.
BOM is out here saving GD from his own stupidity.
We jump back to their luxury villa as the sun sets. The girls are waiting at the door like a pack of hungry wolves. It is time for the great gift reveal, and the hype is real.
Jill gets her doll and is basically vibrating with joy. Gul gets her fancy wallet and is already planning her next school flex.
Even our grumpy janitor is feeling the wholesome vibes for a second. But then we get to Urium's gift. Oh boy.
She asked for an adult toy because she saw it in a movie.
And no, it is not what you think, you perverts.
She pulls out a whip and handcuffs like a total psycho. Urium starts chasing Gul around with the handcuffs, calling her a monkey and demanding to test her new toys.
This house went from a Hallmark movie to a mental asylum in 3 seconds flat. While the kids are being chaotic, BOM pulls GD aside for a private moment.
She gives him a beautifully wrapped gift of his own. It is a new tie, because she noticed he always wears the same one like a generic NPC.
GD is actually touched, which is rare for a guy who usually feels nothing but the urge to kill.
BOM even promises to buy him a full suit once she starts making her own money. She is literally the perfect wife material. GD asks if she bought anything for herself. She gives him a mysterious smile and says she will show him later. Cut to her closet where that black bikini is hanging.
GD has no idea what is coming for him. Fast forward a few weeks, and the piece is over. GD is in his room, looking sharp in his new tie, when his armored knight janitor walks in. It is time for a business trip, and it is going to be a long one.
GD announces he is leaving for 3 days on a mission.
But the real shocker? He is taking Urium with him.
The red dragon is currently passed out on the floor like a bum, but she is about to become a lethal weapon. Welcome back to the academy, where the air is thick with the scent of desperation and preteen sweat.
The legendary anti-demonic human battle simulation is finally starting, and these kids look like they're about to see their ancestors. It's a 3-day survival marathon trapped inside a virtual hellscape called the Ant Nest.
Basically, it's a glorified video game where the losers get a face full of dirt instead of a game over screen.
Every squad of 3 has to deal with a chaperone playing operator. It's supposed to be tactical and professional, but we all know it's just a way for the adults to babysit these ticking time bombs in high definition. Our girl Urium is already over it.
She's watching her classmates shake like leaves and calling them out for being pathetic newborns who wouldn't know real combat if it bit them on the nose. GD tries to play the responsible adult, reminding her that this isn't a solo carry mission.
Right on cue, 2 sacrificial lambs named Sojiro and Jian wander over, looking for a carry. Urium's response:
A polite get lost, losers. She has zero interest in dragging dead weight through a dungeon unless they actually spark her interest, which is a very short list.
But GD, being the ultimate party pooper, accepts the 2 weaklings into the group anyway.
Urium looks like she's about to breathe fire, and honestly, I don't blame her.
She gives her new teammates a warm welcome by promising to kill them herself if they even think about getting in her way. Now that's what I call team spirit, folks. Enter Johnny, the local neighborhood bully who clearly skipped the How Not to Be a Prick seminar. He's busy slapping around a quiet kid and acting like he owns the place. Johnny is on a roll, mocking the poor kid for being an orphan. Because apparently, in this world, having no parents is a crime punishable by being bullied by a guy with a budget haircut.
The other chaperones are just standing there watching the drama like it's a reality TV show. Johnny tells the girl to move her bangs because her face looks too gloomy for his liking.
What a charmer.
Urium wanders over, but she isn't there to save the day.
She's just genuinely confused and asks the most awkward question possible. What exactly is an orphan?
Johnny freezes up because even a bottom-tier bully knows that getting involved with the Red Dragon of the Blue Dragon School is a one-way ticket to the infirmary.
He tries to play it cool, explaining that an orphan is just trash with no backing or money.
He really thinks he's found a kindred spirit in Urium, which is mistake number 1.
This absolute clown then has the audacity to invite Urium to join his elite team, telling her to ditch the beggars she's currently stuck with.
The level of delusion is staggering. Then comes the fatal error. Johnny puts his hand on Urium's shoulder like they're best buddies.
You can practically hear the boss music starting as his life flashes before his eyes.
Urium doesn't do warnings.
She goes straight for the throat, asking this bowl-cut loser if he has a death wish.
The vibe in the room just went from school project to crime scene.
She calls him low-tier scum and makes it very clear that they are not equals. If she sees his face again, he's getting a permanent retirement from the academy.
Johnny scurries away like a rat, while Urium is left fuming.
Finally, Professor Kwon Jaitai shows up to stop the bickering and actually explain how this suicide mission works.
50 teams are being dropped into the dungeon at different spots.
It's a free-for-all where your every move is tracked and ranked in real time for everyone to see. Kills, deaths, and damage are all converted into points.
And if you're bad enough to get killed, you have to wait 3 hours to respawn.
That's a lot of time to think about your life choices.
The gate opens, and the teams start filing into the ant nest.
It looks like a damp, miserable cave, which is the perfect setting for a bunch of teenagers to beat each other up.
Urium steps inside and immediately wants to start a riot. She's ready to rush forward and destroy everything that breathes. Strategy be damned.
GD jumps in to focus her energy, asking her which specific team she wants to hunt down first. He knows that if he doesn't give her a target, she'll just burn the whole cave down.
Urium's strategy is basically kill everyone in sight. She's not here for points or rankings. She's here for the satisfaction of hearing her enemy scream.
Meanwhile, Johnny is still nursing his bruised ego and his literal bruises. He's acting tough in front of his squad, claiming he was just testing Yoriam's reactions. Sure, buddy.
His teammates call him out for his lies, but Johnny doubles down, swearing that if he meets her in the dungeon, he's going to tear her apart.
Famous last words, if I ever heard them. Suddenly, a red blur drops from the ceiling like a nightmare. Johnny's face goes from tough guy to terrified toddler in approximately 0.2 seconds. Yoriam catches them completely off guard.
She hits Johnny with a strike so fast his health bar doesn't even know it's supposed to be dropping yet.
It's absolute carnage. Johnny's HP plummets from 100 to 17 in a single blink. His team is screaming about a surprise attack, but they're already dead, they just don't know it yet.
Yoriam stands over them with a smile that would make a demon sweat. She tells them they're misunderstanding the situation.
This isn't a battle, it's a one-sided hunt, and they're just the little doggies on the menu. Imagine bringing a gun to a magic fight and still getting absolutely cooked.
This fodder really thought he was the main character, but Yoriam is here to remind him that he is just a walking delivery service for points.
Our red-haired menace is moving so fast the guy can barely track her with his scope.
He is screaming for her to stay back, but sweetie, in this world, if you see the red hair, it is already too late for your insurance policy. One clean slash and his HP bar does a magic trick and disappears.
Yoriam is out here treating a life-and-death simulation like a casual Sunday stroll, and honestly, the disrespect is top tier.
Next up on the chopping block is a guy with a sword bigger than his future prospects. He is trying to act tough, but we all know how this ends.
Spoiler alert, it involves a lot of crying and a very broken ego.
This idiot actually shouts that he has the higher ground like he is in a space opera.
Too bad for him. Yoriam does not follow the laws of physics or common sense.
She is closing the gap like a guided missile.
He thinks a heavier weapon means a win, but he is about to learn that strength is not about the size of your blade, it is about who is swinging it.
Yoriam is looking at him like he is a particularly annoying bug she is about to squash.
Absolute strength diff. She overpowers him so hard his sword might as well be made of plastic. His health hits 0 before he can even finish his sentence.
That is what we call a professional skill issue, folks.
Yoriam is literally yawning, complaining that she did not even get a proper warm-up.
But wait, her teammates point out there is one last survivor hiding in the corner like a cockroach.
Time for the final extermination.
This poor guy has 17 HP left and is begging for his face to be spared.
Bold of him to assume Yoriam has even an ounce of mercy in her body.
One punch later and his HP is as non-existent as his dignity. The whole area is a graveyard of broken dreams.
Her teammates are standing there in awe, finally realizing that their carry is basically a cheat code.
Meanwhile, GD is just chilling in the back, looking like a secret boss. Team 37 is officially deleted from existence.
The system announces their respawn timer while the survivors limp away.
GD just stares them down with that cold, dead-inside gaze we all know and love.
Rank check.
After that total wipeout, Team 50 has jumped all the way to 6th place. The teammates are celebrating like they just won the lottery, but they clearly forgot who their leader is.
These two are so happy they did not take any damage, probably because they spent the whole fight hiding behind a rock.
They are calling Yoriam amazing, but the vibe is about to shift from yay to run for your life. Yoriam snaps and grabs Sojiro by the face.
She is absolutely livid that they were just spectating like they were watching a Netflix special. If you are on her team, you either fight or you become her personal punching bag. She is roasting them for being sharpshooters who did not fire a single shot.
Are those bows for decoration, or are you guys just that useless? The fear in their eyes is the only thing keeping her from actually killing them. First place or nothing. That is the Yoriam way.
She forces them to fix their gear and stop acting like toddlers.
GD just watches the chaos, probably wondering if he can trade these two for a pack of instant noodles.
Flash forward 2 days, and we are at the control room. The professors are watching the chaos unfold on a giant wall of monitors. It is the final day of the simulation, and the tension is high enough to snap a cable. Meet Professor Quan Jaitai, a man who looks like he has not slept since the dawn of time.
He is asking for the rankings, and he is about to get a shock that might actually wake him up.
Team 1 is in the lead, but Team 50 is breathing down their necks in 2nd place.
When Jaitai hears the name Yoriam, he immediately recognizes her as the local school psycho.
Some reputations are just universal.
The professors realize Yoriam is basically a one-woman army, but the assistant points out their chaperone is the real mystery.
GD's tactical routes are so perfect they border on being psychic.
Jaitai is a pro operator himself, but he has never heard of anyone with GD's skill set.
He is looking at the map data and realizing that GD is playing 4D chess, while everyone else is playing tag in the dark. They try to do a background check on GD, but his history is cleaner than a freshly bleached floor. It is like his entire past was deleted with an eraser. Nothing screams, "I am a retired legendary assassin," like a blank resume. While they puzzle over the mystery man, they notice something fishy with Team 1.
These second-year elites are moving in a way that suggests they are talking to other teams.
Smells like a conspiracy is brewing.
The assistant thinks it is cheating, but Jaitai is actually impressed.
In the real world, forming alliances is a survival tactic. If you can manipulate your enemies into not killing you, you are already winning the game.
But there is a catch: if they meet and don't fight, that is a straight-up violation.
Jaitai is waiting for the moment they slip up. Meanwhile, back in the dungeon, someone is about to have a mental breakdown. Yoriam is literally punching holes in the cave walls because they are still stuck in second place.
She has gathered points like a maniac, but it is still not enough to satisfy her hunger for the top spot.
Her teammates are begging for mercy.
They are exhausted, bruised, and probably need therapy.
They think second place is impressive, but saying that to Yoriam is like asking a lion to be satisfied with a salad.
They argue that pushing harder might cause them to lose everything. They want to play it safe and coast to the finish line. Honestly, the level of cowardice in this squad is reaching record-breaking heights. Yoriam hits them with the ultimate red flag leader speech.
She calls them losers who give up the moment things get slightly inconvenient. She is not just their teammate, she is their sleep paralysis demon now. She reminds them of their promise not to drag her down.
You said you would be useful, so get your asses up and start acting like it.
The sheer intensity in her eyes could probably melt a glacier.
She is literally screaming at them to stop living like losers. It is harsh, it is toxic, and it is exactly what these two simps needed to hear.
They are crying, but at least they are standing up again.
The motivation works. They are screaming and powering up, ready to take first place even if it kills them.
Yoriam has a tiny, terrifying smile on her face. She has successfully brainwashed her squad into a suicide mission.
GD interrupts the drama to show them something interesting carved into the walls.
It is a set of secret symbols that proves the seniors have formed a massive alliance to gatekeep the top spots. Sojiro recognizes the marks.
The seniors are using these signs to coordinate their movements and avoid each other while hunting down the underclassmen.
It is a full-blown mafia setup inside a school exam. The teammates suggest reporting this to the professors.
They think the school will step in and punish the cheaters.
Poor kids, they clearly don't know who they are working with. Yoriam has a much better idea. Why snitch when you can just destroy them yourself? That evil grin tells us everything we need to know.
The Alliance thinks they are safe, but a redhead hurricane is coming to wreck their whole operation. Imagine being in first place and thinking you are actually safe.
These clowns have 40 minutes left in the simulation, and they are already acting like they won the lottery. They are keeping a close eye on the clock, but they should be watching their backs.
Even though Team 50 is breathing down their necks, these seniors think a first year like you Yoriam is just a fluke.
Enter our resident red-haired tryhard, Yong Myungo. He is from the prestigious Yong House Sword Clan, and he is already sick of his teammates yapping. This guy has zero chill. Myungo is basically a walking daddy issue. He is desperate for acknowledgement from his patriarch and wants to prove he is better than his rival, Yong Tia. Calm down, bro, it is just a test. He tells his team to stay focused, but the cracks are already showing. Suddenly, the plan starts smelling like hot garbage. Is it just me, or did the map just stop making sense? The Senior Alliance is officially crumbling. Those markings they were using to navigate the dungeon? Yeah, they are completely messed up.
Someone is playing mind games and it is working.
Chaos is the only thing on the menu today.
Massive conflicting signals are popping up everywhere, leaving Team 1 wandering around like lost puppies in a basement.
Just when things could not get more awkward, Team 1 bumps into their allies from Team 3.
You can practically feel the sweat dripping off these guys as they realize they have no idea where to go.
It is a standoff between friends, but in this simulation, nobody is actually safe. The tension is so thick you could cut it with one of those overpriced swords they are carrying.
They realize Professor Kwanjaitai is watching like a hawk.
If they fake a fight, he will catch them immediately. The solution?
Beat the absolute soul out of each other for real.
Logic 100. And just like that, the senior alliance turns into a mosh pit.
They are swinging for the fences just to keep up appearances, while our girl Yoriam is watching from the balcony like a chaotic queen. Yoriam is having the time of her life. She is tucked away in the shadows, laughing at these idiots as they tear each other apart. This is peak entertainment, and she did not even have to pay for a ticket. The big reveal is here, and it is glorious. Yoriam had her teammates running around like graffiti artists, making fake markings to sabotage the seniors' coordination. She is literally gaslighting the entire dungeon.
While her team was busy with the arts and crafts, Yoriam was out here hunting for points like a demon. She is closing the ranking gap while the seniors are busy arguing over wall scratches.
She even assigned GD to play bodyguard for her team. GD is out here asking if he is just a mere object.
Honestly, bro, with your power level, you are a literal cheat code, so just roll with it.
Yoriam is too focused on her cool plan to give GD a straight answer. She is basically the director of this horror movie, and everyone else is just an extra waiting to get deleted.
Talk about a dramatic entrance.
Yoriam reveals herself to the survivors of Team 1, calling herself the real villain appearing amidst the chaos.
The main character energy is off the charts.
She is standing there with that "I own this place" look while the seniors are shaking in their boots.
She orders GD to handle the trash while she prepares to take the crown from the leaders.
Myungo is trying to act tough, but he knows he messed up.
He admits that Yoriam's strategy was actually brilliant, which is a lot coming from a guy who thinks his family name is a personality trait.
He tells his teammate Wei to go handle the small fry up top. Wei is hesitant, but Myungo drops the "don't make me repeat myself" line.
Classic toxic leader behavior, we love to see it.
Wei reluctantly prepares to jump into action.
He thinks he is going to have an easy time, but he has no idea that GD is waiting for him.
This is going to be a one-way trip to the infirmary. GD does not just move, he explodes. He hits with so much force that the ground beneath him basically gives up on life. This is not a fight, it is a physics lesson in momentum.
GD greets the other two with a "hi friends" that is absolutely terrifying.
You know you are in trouble when the guy who looks bored is the strongest person in the room. Before Wei can even process what is happening, he is airborne. GD sends him flying through the air like a helpless weight. The disrespect is legendary. Even Yoriam has to stop and look at the flying senior.
She literally calls him a flying pig. I am telling you, her savagery knows no bounds. But there is no time for jokes because Myungo is finally stepping up.
He lunges at Yoriam, trying to reclaim his dignity. The clash of their blades is the only thing echoing through the dungeon. Myungo is screaming about how he is the one she should be paying attention to. Bro, we get it, you want the spotlight, but you are currently losing to a first year. Take the L gracefully.
He admits her plan was impressive, but then he goes right back to being arrogant. He tells her she should be satisfied with second place because his house is destined for the top spot.
The delusion is real. Yoriam just laughs in his face.
She rejects his entire family legacy with one sentence. She is not here for silver medals, she is here to take everything.
With the clock ticking down to the final seconds, the struggle for victory reaches its peak.
GD is just standing there looking cool while Yoriam prepares to deliver the final blow to Team 1's ego. First place is hers.
Imagine being chased through a cave by seniors who clearly have too much free time. Sojiro and Jin are currently in the struggle bus, huffing like they just ran a marathon through hell. Sojiro looks like he is about to see the light, and not the good kind.
Jin has to remind him that failing here means facing Yoriam later, which is basically a one-way ticket to the afterlife.
Our boy decides to pull a desperate final stand, but his body is basically saying absolutely not. He spent all his mana earlier acting like a dungeon vandal, and now the bill is due. He tries to aim his bow, but the strength in his arms is gone. It is honestly painful to watch this level of cooked. The seniors are just closing in, smelling the easy elimination.
This senior really has the audacity to stand there and mock them.
He is calling our first years low styes and acting like he is the main character of a cultivation novel. The ego on this guy is insane. Sojiro is literally shaking, trying to hold a knife like a scared kitten. The senior just laughs and prepares to deliver the most disrespectful slap in history. Talk about a hierarchy check. And just like that, Sojiro gets eliminated with a quack sound effect.
His HP hits 0 and he is officially out of the game, leaving poor Jin to deal with these bullies all by herself.
The seniors are having a grand old time laughing at the first year's expense.
They really think they have already won because they managed to bully a kid who was already out of breath.
But wait, Jin is not just a damsel in distress.
She is covered in blood and dirt, but her eyes are glowing. She activates Blessing Eye, the sniper, and suddenly the vibe in the cave shifts. The seniors are still yapping, thinking her mana gun is just a toy. Jin takes the shot, but it looks like a total miss. Everyone thinks she has finally lost her mind from the stress. This senior is literally cackling, telling her to know her place because she cannot even aim properly.
Little does he know, he is about to experience a top-tier reality check.
Jin is just smiling through the blood, asking him what the hell he is talking about.
She did not miss him, she hit the ceiling.
And look at that, a massive boulder is currently falling on his head. Tactical genius alert. The senior gets absolutely flattened by the environment.
Jin basically used the dungeon as her own personal hitman.
That is what happens when you underestimate a Lostai.
With that glorious trap, Jin is officially done.
Her HP hits 0 from the backlash and exhaustion, but she did her job. She took out a senior while basically being a zombie.
Respect. Now we cut to Myungo, the self-proclaimed leader of the top team. He wakes up from a blackout and expects to see his team winning, but instead, he finds himself alone in a graveyard of dead teammates. He is absolutely stunned to hear that his entire squad got wiped out. The Guardian has to break the news that his team is basically history, and it was all thanks to one red-haired menace.
Enter Yoriam, looking bored out of her mind. She is literally yawning while Myungo tries to process his failure. She expected a challenge, but all she got was a bunch of mid-tier targets. He charges in with his sword, but Yoriam is just dodging like she is playing a rhythm game. She is not even trying and she is already making this elite warrior look like a complete amateur. She literally steps on his head and tells him that the inferior one is actually him.
The level of disrespect is off the charts. Myungo is getting rolled like a sushi roll, and he knows it. Myungo manages to block a hit, but he is shaking like a leaf.
He realizes that if he does not use his secret trump card now, he is going to be the laughingstock of the entire academy.
He admits she is strong, but he starts yapping about the gap between their skills.
He has been training in secret for years just to prove he is better than the actual heirs of his clan.
Here comes the hype.
He starts channeling his mana, and the air around him is turning into literal blades. This is the secret technique of the Yong House, and he is ready to bet everything on it. Yong House Sword Arts, First Form, Rising Dragon. The visuals are actually insane. A giant blue dragon of energy is swirling around him, and it looks like Yoriam might actually have to try for once. The attack is unleashed, and the wind is literally cutting through everything.
Yoriam is taking damage as her HP starts ticking down.
Myungo is feeling like a god right now. Even the instructors are shocked.
They did not think a student could master a high-level clan technique in secret.
Myungo is finally getting the attention he craves, but he is still yapping. He is so high on his own hype that he is already imagining the elders of his house praising him.
He thinks he is finally better than his rival, Tiha.
Someone please tell this man he is still in a simulation. Second form, Dragon Blade Flash. He is moving so fast he is just a blur. This is supposed to be the finishing move that secures his place at the top of the leaderboard. The energy explosion is massive.
He really thinks he just deleted the monster girl from existence.
He is breathing hard, waiting for the system to announce his glorious victory.
He stands there in the smoke, feeling himself.
He is thinking about all the years he spent training in secret just for this moment.
The inferior girl should be gone, right? Wrong. We get a quick flashback of him sweating in a dojo, dreaming of being acknowledged.
It is almost sad how much his self-worth is tied to a sword art.
Too bad he picked the wrong opponent.
Myungo looks down and realizes his hand is empty.
Is the only thing he can say.
Yoriam is standing behind him, casually holding his broken sword like it is a piece of trash.
She is mocking his renowned clan nonsense, pointing out that a swordsman without a sword is just a dumbass.
The emotional damage here is way higher than the physical damage.
Yoriam decides to end this comedy show with a custom technique.
She calls it the 999th form, and the subtitle literally says it is for fucking up a yapper. I love this girl.
One final, brutal swing with his own broken blade, and Myungo is sent flying.
He is literally midair, realizing his actual sword skill was not enough to stop a girl who is basically a natural disaster.
Myungo's HP hits 0, and the simulation is officially over.
Yoriam stands over his corpse with the most savage smile ever.
Team 50 has officially secured the first place spot.
The 3-day trial is done, and Yoriam finally lets herself collapse. She is so tired she is literally asking for Gull's healing while smiling at the ceiling. She really carried the whole team.
Imagine it is a beautiful spring day and suddenly the sky decides to drop a blizzard on you. Meet Gull, our resident blonde chaos magnet, who is casually sipping tea while the world turns into a freezer. So what is the solution? Obviously, making the household janitor dress up like a budget magical girl. Gull convinces this poor armored simp that a pink frilly dress is exactly what a depressed dragon needs to see. Look at this absolute unit in a tutu. He is ready to melt hearts, or at least cause some serious psychological trauma.
Meanwhile, Tiny Jill is just sitting there, probably wondering why her life is a comedy skit. The janitor hits her with the "would you like to play princess" line while posing like a cursed anime mascot. Jill looks like she is reconsidering her entire existence.
This is not cute. It is a horror movie in broad daylight. Just when the cringe reaches lethal levels, Bomb walks in to witness the madness.
She is the only one with a brain cell left, immediately demanding to know what kind of fever dream she just stepped into.
BOM tells the janitor to go wash his sins away before he scares the kid for life.
Gull, being the professional snake she is, immediately denies everything and whistles like she did not just orchestrate this disaster.
Finally, the heavy hitters arrive. GD and Yoriam are back from their battle simulation, and the red dragon is already complaining about the snow.
She is high energy, aggressive, and clearly has zero chill. Yoriam claims she brought Gull a present, but since they are sisters, you know it is a trap.
She shoves a snowball down Gull's back, and the scream that follows is pure music to any younger sibling's ears. But wait, it gets worse.
Yoriam casually mentions she mixed some dog poop into that snowball. That is some top-tier petty energy right there.
The house is a total circus, and GD is just trying to survive the day. Amidst the chaos, Joel approaches GD with something actually wholesome.
She hands him a sketchbook, and honestly, the tension in the room just evaporates.
Even a stone-cold MC like GD can't ignore this. The drawing is a masterpiece of stick figures.
It shows the whole dysfunctional family, including the janitor crying in the corner and GD holding Joe like a king.
It is a total my heart moment in a world of red flags.
GD realizes that despite the constant bickering and the dog poop snowballs, these dragons actually see him as their pillar.
He gives a rare, soft smile that probably just saved the entire neighborhood from a frostbite death.
To celebrate not being total monsters for 5 minutes, GD announces a 2-day trip.
The girls lose their minds because who does not love a vacation? Suddenly, the supernatural snow stops because the little dragon is finally happy.
The sky clears up instantly. It is amazing what a little bit of paternal attention can do for a dragon's mood. The neighbors are probably confused as hell, but our squad is too busy packing their bags for the ultimate road trip.
They head to Severodvinsk, which is basically the middle of nowhere in Russia.
GD claims he found this secret paradise while clearing a high-level dungeon. Typical MC behavior, finding vacation spots while murdering monsters. Gull is absolutely vibing with the scenery. The water is crystal clear, the sun is out, and for once, nobody is trying to kill each other. It is the calm before the inevitable storm of chaotic energy. Yoriam is complaining about why they had to drive instead of just teleporting. GD wants them to experience the human way of traveling. But let's be real, he just wanted a quiet car ride away from their screaming.
BOM tries to follow GD while he goes to set up camp, but he shuts her down, telling her to watch the kid. The big sister energy is strong, but BOM has other plans that involve a lot more fan service than babysitting. While the girls play, GD is out here foraging like a survivalist.
He finds some mushrooms that look like they belong in a witch's cauldron. If you see a purple mushroom with red spots, maybe do not put it in the soup, bro. GD gets the campsite ready and calls the girls over. He is expecting a nice, quiet dinner, but he forgot who he is dealing with. These dragons are basically black holes for food and drama. Boom. BOM appears in a bikini, and the fan service levels just hit the ceiling.
She is totally teasing GD, asking if he finally sees her as a woman.
GD is trying to stay stoic, but the man is fighting for his life.
BOM is not holding back, reminding him that she wore this at the department store just for him. She is the ultimate one-step ahead waifu, and GD's poker face is starting to crack under the pressure.
Urium and Gul are in the background losing it. Urium starts roasting GD, asking if he is pitching a tent in more ways than one. The disrespect is legendary.
She even offers to wear a micro-bikini just to mess with him.
GD decides to end the teasing with a well-placed flick to Urium's head. That is divine punishment for stealing his cup noodles earlier. The beach day is officially peaked, and now it is time for the disaster chef to cook. GD presents his mushroom hot pot, and it looks like a bowl of straight poison.
The broth is glowing purple, and there are dark chunks floating in it that look like they could gain sentience at any moment.
Even the dragons, who eat literal monsters, are terrified. Urium says even a dog wouldn't touch this fucking disgusting mess.
Gul is having flashbacks to surviving the Amazon and says she would rather starve.
GD is offended because BOM usually eats his cooking without complaining.
BOM just stays quiet because she is a loyal simp, but even she looks a bit worried about the purple sludge.
Urium demands cup noodles immediately. Suddenly, Tiny Jewel just walks up and takes a massive spoonful. The whole family freezes.
They are expecting her to keel over or turn into a frog, but the little dragon is just casually chewing the poison soup.
GD mumbles that it is actually good for the body, but nobody believes him until the impossible happens.
Joel looks up, her eyes sparkling, and the silence in the woods is so thick you could cut it with a sword. She speaks. The little dragon finally opens her mouth and declares the food is delicious.
The sisters are absolutely shook.
The depressed dragon is healed, the poison soup is a hit, and GD's dad points just went over 9,000.